Good afternoon. It is 3 o'clock. I'm Joseph Bonanno from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Busy day for the Titans as the team reportedly made 2 trades earlier this morning. They sent wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins to the Kansas City Chiefs for a 2025 fifth-rounder that can become a fourth-rounder if Hopkins plays 60% of the snaps and Kansas City makes a Super Bowl appearance. The Titans will pay $2.5 million of Hopkins' remaining salary. Also, linebacker Ernest Jones IV was traded to the Seattle Seahawks for linebacker Jerome Baker and a 2025 fourth-round pick. Brian Callahan met with the media today, and while he couldn't address the trade rumors, he did give an update on the Titans' quarterback situation heading into Week 8.
We'll probably give Will one more week, and I'm not necessarily ruling him out, but I do think that we're going to take a look and let Mason take more reps this week to get ready to play and see how Will comes through the week. Nothing official on that at this point, but probably leaning towards Mason one more week and let Will have one more week of rest.
The team was back on the practice field today, and there was no sign of Calvin Ridley, L'Jarius Sneed, Jeffrey Simmons, or Jalen Duncan during the open portion of practice. Tyjae Spears did return. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. It is hump day. We are motoring through this week. Hump day! There he is. He's Slay. I'll get to him. Dawn Davenport, ladies first. She is here.
What up? Anything going on today?
Just the weather.
Titans fire sale, man. We'll get to it. They may not be done either.
May not be done.
May not be done. Executive producer of 3HL is Zeph.
What's up?
What up, Zephyr?
So Zeph was going through some social media videos that he has put on
TikTok,
YouTube. What were you looking primarily at numerically?
Primarily
Yeah.
I was looking at our Instagram and TikTok views and how many views we've gotten.
So you've done 40 since you've been here.
Correct. I've made 40 videos since I've started working with y'all.
What's the total number of views?
If my math is right, which I hope it is, over 1.3 million views.
Come on, man. We ain't out here playing around.
Love y'all. Thank you for participating with 3HL. There is one that stands out.
Appreciate being entertaining.
Yeah, there is one. It is Slay, I believe, telling the world.
I know this will shock you.
Yeah, Slay screaming into a microphone is what Zeph said.
Yeah, pretty much. I believe it's actually Slay telling the world that they should not let the Tennessee Volunteers win the national championship, or else the world might fall apart.
Well, that one's
Yeah.
still up in the air. That one's still out there.
That one got 530,000 views.
Wow.
I had a couple of people telling me that when we was coming out of the stadium together. Like, you told them we better not what? So, win no natty. Oh, the world will explode. So, I don't know if you want to say it that loud.
Yeah. You got to watch out what you say around big crowds.
You got the right idea.
It's like an airplane. You don't ever say bomb on an airplane.
I think we should, I know. The first show you ever did, you started saying the word bomb like 35 times on the radio. It was amazing. I'm like, Babs, you can't say that. It's day one, too.
Bomb, bomb, bomb. Bomb, bomb, ba bomb. Bomb, 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 ba bomb, bomb, ba bomb.
She was on one that day. She was screaming that into a microphone. Slay Dog is here.
I'm in the building.
Hey.
Bum, 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 bum. The car ain't got no roof.
For the show.
And if we keep it up, the car won't have no tires. We'll just sit here in one place.
Rolling right along.
Well, I think we should publicly.
There's no tires on this Titans car right now.
That's what I'm saying. It's a.
I think we should publicly thank Zeph for being all over those little videos, and he gets them out quickly. Too. While
Good job,
doing
Zeph.
50 million things in
I
there.
appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Zeph.
We never got to experience this, Zeph. Thank you.
Join 3HL this Thursday as we broadcast live from Buffalo Wild Wings in Franklin for our next Titans football feast. That is tomorrow in Cool Springs. To be more exact, stop by for chances to win Titans Patriots tickets and giveaways each hour. Thanks to Miller Lite, Kroger, and Buffalo Wild Wings. Plus, be a part of our weekly Miller Lite Wash Away Toast with Ron Slay.
Man.
In the 445 segment. For more information, visit 1045thezone.com/TF.
And you know what? And this one right here.
Yeah.
This right here is gonna be a good wash away toast. You know, you asked me, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, or somebody asked me, do you plan these out? And I was like, nah, I just kind of get up and freestyle them right before we go into the break. But this one right here, I'm gonna plan this one out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Titans heavy.
Yeah, Titans eccentric. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was the word that I thought, but I went simple.
Yeah.
You make Davenport
good.
nervous when you freestyle, but
yeah. It gets
Which
wild.
is every day.
But I always have to go back and watch Babsy because I can't never see her when I'm looking out at everybody. But I go back and watch it. And we ought to get Zeb. You ain't got no time for this, but if you ever did have just some downtime, get some outtakes of her when I'm giving my spiel and her little facial expression, like, oh well. I guess, yeah.
Especially when you got on the chair.
Yeah, that was
a good one.
Yeah. You too on that one. Like I saw you on that one too.
Well. I was worried about you getting down. I wasn't necessarily.
I was worried about all of it.
It could be tricky.
All of it.
By the way, speaking of us kind of winging things, so the salespeople are doing a thing this week. The dual power of radio and digital on 104.5 The Zone. This is a script. Has always delivered results for local advertisers. This week is your chance to book your 2025 marketing campaign early with special savings and incentives. Reach out today to your local ad representative or go to 1045thezone.com/epic. So
epic, EPIC, epic.
Yeah, so there was talk yesterday about how the morning crew didn't get the lunch, and the lunch was delivered it wasn't for us necessarily, but we did go down and kind of scarf some things.
I mean, is it ever really for us? No, we just make it for us.
Right, so it was for the salespeople, and they're working hard on 2025 this week.
Like, and
so they're supplying food all week long. And so then I went down, I started thinking, I used my brain. And I was like, do we need to be saying something on air about, because like our job really is to help our advertisers grow their business, right? Like, and then we have a lot of fun on the radio and provide listenership and all those things because of you guys and your support of these businesses. But anyway, I went down there. I was like, should we be saying something about this? And it was a room with 3 department heads. And so it was Dave Elliott, sales manager, Hunter Rice, who runs Titans Radio, among other things, digital too, and Paul Mason, our program director. And I'm like, should we be reading something? And so Dave Elliott, our sales manager, was like, yeah. That'd be great. I was like, okay, could you write something up? And he goes, I'll get my program director to do it. And so then Paul was like, you have script. Like y'all cut something that we ran digitally. And I was like, we didn't read script for that. We were just winging it. And he was like,
were we supposed to read something?
Exactly. So evidently we were supposed to read script, but we just were winging all of that. But anyway, that was the script that we were supposed to read.
It sounds good. I'm glad that you read that for the first time ever.
Right. So if you, yes.
Sounds better the first time.
So if you would like assistance in terms of letting the 3HL crew and the 104.5 The Zone listeners, all of the shows help you grow your business, certainly contact us, 1045thezone.com/epic. There you go. All right. The Titans have made some moves. So we wake up, my phone dings, 6 a.m.?
Yep.
Something like that?
6 a.m.
And it's Zeph. And he's like, DeAndre Hopkins is getting traded to the Chiefs. I'm like, okay. We talked about this for a couple weeks. Like he was the most logical guy because he had an expiring contract.
And so many guys getting banged up.
Right. And then so a lot of people started talking about, Big Jeff because of Tavondre Sweat and all that money and people started talking about Harold Landry and all this stuff. Now, they've made 2 moves today, and before we go any further, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I don't think they're necessarily done. They could be, but don't be surprised if they're not once these things start happening. But anyway, so DeAndre Hopkins to the Chiefs, which is a great move for the Chiefs, right? Like they're ecstatic over there in Kansas City because
they needed it.
Yeah, and they're 6-0, but they're struggling offensively. Yeah. So like if you could be a struggle bus 6-0, that's kind of what they are. But now they're trying to win that 3rd Super Bowl in a row.
Yeah,
which hasn't been done in the Super Bowl era.
That'd be nuts.
And so they take on DeAndre Hopkins. So the Titans get a 5th-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins. It would become a 4th-round pick if Kansas City reaches the Super Bowl and D-Hop plays in 60% of the offensive snaps.
Go Chiefs.
So before I get opinion on all this, let me hit this one too. Ernest Jones, linebacker, inside linebacker, thumper. Mm-hmm. I mean, thumper. was traded to the Seattle Seahawks and before you jump on this one needs some explaining, for linebacker Jerome Baker and a 4th-round pick. So when you go back and look at what they like the Ernest Jones deal, ultimately Rand Carthon ended up with trading a 5th-round pick to get Jerome Baker, a 4th and a 6th. So that one, I get everybody wants to, try to win games right now, and they're not going to go out there and try to lose by any stretch of the imagination, but this is full-blown rebuild. This is full-blown rebuild.
And it wasn't prior to that.
Right. So in terms of a business big-picture model, that was a steal right there.
Yeah.
On the Ernest Jones deal. And I know he's a hell of a player, but if you can trade a 5th for another linebacker, like you replace your linebacker, a 4th and a 6th, that's some gangster stuff right there, to me.
So Big Jeff said Ernest Jones was in meetings this morning. Not in walkthrough, but he was in meetings this morning.
Life comes at you fast.
Sure does.
Well, at least you getting guys that's bought in. Like, he ain't coming here and cash it in or, mope around. Like, he played ball. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's one of them, literally, it's the business. Like, to get you. Because he was getting to it. Him and Kenneth Murray together was a problem.
So what do y'all think about this? How surprised are you?
Not surprised at all.
Yeah.
We mentioned the possibility of DeAndre Hopkins to the Chiefs, exactly that team, like 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. You could see it you could totally see it happening with the Chiefs needing it for a Super Bowl run.
They just keep
Titans
having wide receivers go down.
They do. And now they have a veteran guy who I think can still produce on the field, even though he wasn't doing it here.
Well, now he gets Mahomes.
Right.
You think D-Hop's going to catch balls?
There's a slight difference there.
Yeah.
Slight difference.
I think so. I think, and then also.
So not surprised at all.
Me either. When you start to hear rumors start to swirl too, like you started to hear about D-Hop in Pittsburgh, and everybody looking for another main receiver or wide receiver one, somebody that can get him over the hump. He's the guy that can get him over the hump.
Yeah. I would bet also that once Ram made that second deal, his phone's been ringing all day. Because all the GMs around the league are like, okay, what else they got? Because this dude
Titans are selling.
Mm-hmm.
Fire sale.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Dumpster fire sale.
Usually you see stuff like this at baseball,
Yeah.
But here you go.
Before?
So now, they've still got 2 weeks before the trading deadline. That's an important point to make, Slade. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
And here's how they currently look.
Busy 2 weeks.
2025 draft-wise. They have a first, a second, 2 fourths, 2 fifths. One could become a third fourth. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. A 6th and a 7th. So they're acquiring picks that will enable him to trade up if he so desires. Mm-hmm. And look, man, last year they drafted well.
Yep.
Looking at it right now.
Yeah.
I mean, T. Sweat, Latham, Brownlee Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Just to name 3.
Yeah.
I mean, Jaquan Jackson's their starting, returner. So their starting returner was in that draft class too.
I thought it was a good draft.
Cedric Gray, now ready to potentially come off IR officially and play.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you that before he even went on IR, he was lost.
Yeah.
I watched him in camp. I stood right there.
Yeah.
It's going to take him a while.
I stood next to him.
That doesn't mean he can't be something, but it's going to take him a while.
And we stood
especially
next to
for being gone for so long now.
That would know. That said that also.
Yeah.
Not that he can't do it. All right, your reaction. The Titans trade away DeAndre Hopkins. They trade away Ernest Jones as well. 615-737-1045. Coach Matt coming up next. We'll get his take on the latest with these moves and talk about the Lions moving on with that 1-5 record. Now they play a guy. Did you hear Mike Heath give this stat yesterday?
What?
In the last 4 games, they have more touchdowns than incompletions.
Who?
The Lions. They have 18 touchdowns in the last 4 games, and they've thrown 16 incompletions.
What would that feel like?
I have no earthly idea.
Oh, yeah,
no
the ground.
earthly idea.
That's a stat, baby.
Yeah, we'll get rid of that stat.
Coach back next.
Can't relate. What's happening, fellas? You're out there feeling a little tired, lacking motivation and drive, and you're gaining weight or noticing a loss of muscle mass. Well, these all could be signs that are pointing towards low testosterone. Don't wait. Get in there and find out. Get in where? Low T Center. They make it easy to get your levels checked. It's just a simple blood test, and with their on-site lab, you'll get results back in about 25 minutes. So get back to your best. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment today. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Okay, what if you could be debt-free by January? And I'm talking about high-interest debt that you have, which is maybe a car loan, a credit card, all of that you can consolidate into one lower payment. Stop stressing over bills. Call Loan Pronto to help you do it right now. Rates are at their lowest in 2 years. Perfect chance to use your home's equity and save big going into the new year. Loan Pronto has rates with APRs in the low 5s right now, and they are getting homeowners hundreds of thousands of dollars out of their home equity, especially here in our area. And they have a ton of options. They've got total refis, or they even have express equity lines of credit you can jump into as well. Call now, get a rate quote in just minutes. No hard credit pull, no upfront fees like all those other guys. Call today. You might not have to make a house payment until 2025. I started the whole process for us online at loanpronto.com. Didn't even have to talk to anybody to start the process. You can do that, or you can just call somebody and let them start the process for you. Loan Pronto at 615-499-5780. That's 499-5780, loanpronto.com. Loan Pronto, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
3HL 1045 The Zone, our soccer expert on the show is one Don Davenport.
Yeah, because my daughter is so good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Bab sent a video of Hadley running around the field. At least she was running around. She wasn't like just sitting over there in the corner, picking her
focused
flowers and stuff.
When I sent that video, she was. But then at one point, she ran over to one of her teammates on the field and was looking at her nails because she just painted her nails.
Hey,
so she wanted to see her pretty nails.
Her teammates' nails?
Yeah.
Or her nails?
No, her teammates. And then one of her other teammates was sitting over there who also doesn't give a shiano about soccer, was sitting over there eating cookies during the game. So what did Baby Babs do? She decided to take herself out of the game and go over to the sideline with her teammate to eat cookies. I said, what are you doing?
That's real.
That's teamwork, Babs.
Yeah.
She has cookies, Mommy.
Yeah, why would she eat them
Yeah,
alone?
well, you can have them after you score a goal.
No, Babs, we eat cookies
Negative.
together.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a good
y'all.
teammate. Good teammate.
All right.
He's supporting her teammate.
It was really, y'all.
Isn't Franklin doing something well in soccer?
Yes, congrats to Franklin High School girls soccer, the team that Hadley will never be on because she is a terrible soccer player.
Wow.
But yes, Franklin High School just advanced to the state semifinals and will play, I believe it's Houston tomorrow. So congratulations to the Franklin High School girls. Well
Go,
done.
y'all.
Well done. Good luck. I mean, I'm all about cookies. Don't get me wrong, but
Butter cookies, too.
Yeah, Andrew says cookies greater than soccer.
I ain't mad at Andrew on them.
so I asked her after the game too. I said, "Listen, why don't you like soccer? What's going on?" It's too hard. I'm too busy. It's too hard. I'm like, you're too busy.
Too busy.
I got
Busy
things to
doing
do.
what? Because you're not going after the ball.
Performing at home on my stage.
Yeah, she's got to look at nails and eat cookies.
Her
Right.
and Alexa.
She's too
Too
busy.
busy. I like dance.
Also,
Yes.
I'm like, ugh.
props to the Nashville Predators who picked up their first win of the season last night.
Hey.
Good job, Brett.
4-0 against the Boston Bruins. Evangelista had a goal, as did Novak, Nyquist, and O'Reilly.
Okay.
O'Reilly.
What are you doing?
Josh in the chat said, Babs, let's see your nails. I don't even get my nails done.
Yeah, that's
Never
That's
have.
not really her thing.
I don't bite them or chew them, but I just don't do anything.
Now, Slay will go to the manicure pedicure place.
I'm going probably Friday.
Slay's probably gone more than I have
I'm going
last year.
I'm trying to go every 3 weeks.
Coach Mack joins us on a very active Titans day. Coach Mack, what's up? How are you?
Good for Hadley. She knows what she likes. She does it.
That is true, Coach Mack.
Right, Mac.
That is true.
I'm all in on Hadley.
So
I mean, I like somebody that knows what they want and goes and gets it. And and
Cookies.
Good for her. Cookie and she likes nails. I mean, to me, it's a good trade off.
Let's just say she wouldn't be a linebacker for a
Well, no,
Coach
she
Mack's
doesn't.
defense.
She doesn't need to be because it's hot outside too. So I mean, cookie, nails. I like what she did. Ron Slade, before we start talking football, give me a squirrel update. For those people that don't know, when I pulled up last night to go do Mac Talk,
Yeah.
by Ron Slade's big monster truck, there was a squirrel because those wheels are a long way off the ground, and there's a lot of clearance between there and the engine. It was sitting right on top. So when I got out, and it startled him, and so squirrels, their instinct is to go up. All right, when they get startled, they go up. You've all seen squirrels hit a tree quick.
Yeah.
It went straight up into the motor, and so I went and told Ron Slade. So tell me what happened.
So, Coach Mack, when we were leaving out, Babsy was leaving before me, so I hit the panic button on the truck to make a lot of noise, and she went out there and checked it, and when she saw
I watched it.
Yeah, it wasn't no
see
squirrel.
if anything came out. We were good.
Yeah, I had a bird's eye view of that thing too, and nothing ran.
So either you're now relaxed or he
No.
gone.
You have known if he's in there. I
okay.
promise you. I mean, they would have started making some washing machine noises. You know.
He gone.
So
He gone, just like DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins and Ernest Jones both traded today by the Titans. The three of us were not surprised. Were you?
Well, look, this time of year, and in the business of the National Football League, when you're 1-5 and you need draft capital, I mean, this is what transpires when you're a 1-5 football team at this point, and you've got some people that other people want, And if you can get draft capital, I mean, again, if they're sitting here at 5-1, that's probably you're going to ignore those calls, but not at 1-5.
So let's go back to Buffalo real quick. And you get up 10-0, and then it starts to spiral. It looked like Mason Rudolph picked up the first down, though, that led to the third down non-conversion, that led to the fourth down non-conversion, that led to the landslide. When it starts to slip like that against a really talented quarterback and a good football team, how hard is it to get it back?
Well, the thing that happens, Brent, and it is that and they did a good job early on, is that they didn't give, and Josh Allen, they were going 3 and out. Josh Allen was going 3 and out.
3 times.
But 3 times.
Yep.
But the more shots that you give a quarterback like that with that football team, because that's a good football team. I still think Baltimore's the best team in the AFC right now, but that team is that team is close. But with that quarterback, you keep giving them consistent shots at you, then all of a sudden he's going to find openings, and then they're going to. And plus, as they continue to get more shots, and then you start to try to that first touchdown was a clear eye violation, because you're trying to do too much to get them stopped. It's an eye violation, and all of a sudden they've got their first explosive down the field, and it all stems from the fact, against a good football team, right? That is, you've got to be able to stay ahead of the chains, and once you start turning the ball back to them time after time, which has started happening with those 3 and outs, then you're putting your defense's heels on the edge of the cliff constantly, and they're going to fall over sooner or later.
Definitely going to tilt over. And you look at it, what is going on, Coach Mack, in your opinion, going from the first half to the second half, as far as momentum, as far as body language, as far as energy? It's almost like it's a sit around and wait, like who's going to spark the match. You know what I'm saying?
Not making plays. Yeah. Ron Slay, they're not making plays. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's take it to the sport that you played all of your life. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're hot early and you're hitting buckets, and and all of a sudden you start hitting iron every time you throw it up there, and they start rebounding and going down and putting points in, then all of a sudden you're in a tsunami. They did not make any plays. They made no meaningful plays once it started rolling on them. I mean, on the broadcast, I said, this is starting to be a tsunami. You can feel it when it's coming. It's not anything. But if you don't make plays, how many times have we talked about, which is extremely important, games are made up of moments in time. And if you don't seize moments when they come, it's going to come back on you. And it did in a big way in that second half.
Yeah, that's why, man, when you relate it to something like basketball, like who is that? I used to always be able to figure out how to make that play, whether it be a dive on the floor, whether it be taking a charge, whether it be going to get an offensive rebound and getting somebody in foul trouble. You seek out those plays while being in the flow of the game. And football, is it someone making a big block or a timely pass or a timely catch? Or is it the play also being called, Mac, that puts you in position for it?
Well, it can be, but if the play is being called and you don't complete the play when it's there, then that's an issue. But you start talking about the person. I mean, it is the rule of thumb in football. The first guy that can take you out of that is the quarterback.
Yeah, that's
the first guy, because he's got the ball first, and he can. And then if he starts getting help, then it starts moving. But if you all of a sudden, if you don't have protection, if the quarterback's missing, and all of a sudden you get behind the chains is a terrible place to be in the National Football League. But you got somebody. That's what they're out there. Everybody's out there to do their job.
Yep.
You have somebody that's doing their job not all the way, and the other team continues to press the issue. Then you have big problems.
Mm-hmm. Coach Mack with us, presented by Two Rivers Ford. All right, let's go back to these deals. So. Ernest Jones heads to Seattle. When you look at this, though, in terms of what the Ernest Jones trade that brought him here and the Ernest Jones trade that took him to Seattle, basically Coach traded a 5th-round pick for Jerome Baker, a 4th, and a 6th. That is a steal in that particular deal to me, even though we know Ernest Jones is a thumper and a really good player.
No, and Ernest Jones is a good player. D-Hop's a good player, but going back to the first thing we started talking about when we quit talking about Hadley and then we quit talking about Ron Squirrel, The thing that's important to know is when you're sitting where they are sitting, and they've put themselves in this situation by not winning ball games, and you guys. Our listeners are savvy enough. You guys keep them informed too. This team is not complete at all yet, and you need draft capital. And if you got somebody that wants them, that's willing to give you some draft capital on guys that are on expiring contracts, you're not going to get draft capital for somebody that's not at least a decent player, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's the business of the league. That's just the way it is.
All right, who's next?
Start looking at contracts.
Yeah, well, I have not. Believe me, Don. I do not ask. I don't even. I've been in this situation. Making these types of decisions, and there may be more to come. There may not be, but I promise you this, and I can promise our listeners, I do not ask because I've got no influence on it.
From a big picture standpoint, and it's hard for fans to get into that mindset. We know because we are fans, right? But from a big picture standpoint, the way that they utilized the draft last year, and now they're acquiring draft capital for 2025. Now they have a first, a second. They could have 3 fourth-round picks, a fifth, a sixth, and a seventh. And I mean, I think that's an interesting position to be in as you go toward the draft because you have draft capital in terms of moving up if you want to, or just picking all of those, utilizing all of those picks and bringing players in and building that way.
Well, you couldn't have mapped it out any better, for the listeners than you just did then. And the other thing is, if you want to see a blueprint as to what this is following, look at what Detroit's done. Because, basically, and again, I know because I was there with all of these guys. I was there with the dudes that are running Detroit now. I was there with Rand Carthon. That's the way we started building the Rams. It's the same blueprint. Now, the key to it is you can accumulate all the picks that you want to your point, but you've got to pick the right guys. You've got to pick. That's incumbent upon this being successful. And so far, Rand has shown that he can do that. But the way that you just mapped it out is exactly what it is, Brent.
So you've been around the league a long time. Have you been in a situation similar to this where, fans are like, okay, here it is. It's fire sale. Everybody's on the block, whatever. How does it affect kind of the inside of the building?
Well, it's not a fire sale. Not everybody's on the block. It's just, this will come to an end. But here's the reality now in the National Football League, Don. And I think, because the way that as much as you work sidelines and you talk to coaches in the collegiate ball, once the transfer portal came into being, this is the way of life. It is the way of life. It may be distasteful at times, and I believe me, I'm with the fans a lot, and I understand the frustration, and because you get used to somebody being there. I get all of that, but the business of football, which is becoming in the NCAA too. It's becoming the business of football. It always has been, but now it's completely out in the open. That's just what it is. And who knows it better than anybody? The players and the locker room.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this Detroit Lions team. Titans go to Detroit, 11-point underdog on Sunday. I know you don't care about that. A lot of listeners do, but this team is really good. Obviously,
big line.
5-1. They've won 4 in a row. Jared Goff is flat out dealing. In the last 3 games, 85% completion percentage, 296 yards per game, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. And Coach Mike Keith had the stat yesterday, or actually Monday, I guess, during the Brian Callahan show. He said that in the last 4 games, the Detroit Lions have 2 more touchdowns than they do incompletions.
And that's a fact. And look, Jared Goff, I was with Jared Goff
yes, you were.
at his birth in this league. And
okay.
so the reason that I said in this league. And so the reason that and when we were vetting those guys, because we were going to trade up, we're going to trade up the Titans to get the number 1 pick. We went through all of this vetting process between he and Carson Wentz, and it was close. Carson Wentz, it boiled down to it, was probably the better overall athlete, but Jared Goff was the better pure thrower, the better pure thrower of the football. And we really believe that with a little help that he could be the guy. Now, He didn't have enough help there early while we were there, and still he really didn't have enough afterwards. And that's why Sean McVay, who knows something about quarterbacks, finally said, I can't win it all with this guy. He's gotten better, but I can't win it all. And really the trade they made with Detroit, because, Brad Holmes, had been right there when we went through that vetting process and picked Jared Goff, in that draft. He and Ray Agnew were there, so they knew his development. They knew where he was. So that trade really flipped both franchises. It flipped both franchises. It got a Super Bowl with Stafford to the Rams, and it put these guys on their path. And Jared Goff, and guys, I think a key point is that was in 2016. This is 2024. That's 9. This is going on 9 seasons, correct?
Right.
And it took him a while to get to this point, but now with what they're doing offensively, he is playing as good a quarterback as anybody in this league. And plus, he's got to run. His play action stuff is just, it's off the charts. And now, because they are getting separation of scores, it's dial-a-play now. And when you start watching it, I watched their last 4 games, and once they get rolling, Ben Johnson it's dial-a-play. It really is. But he is so accurate right now. And again, he was the best pure thrower in that draft, and now it's coming to fruition 9 seasons later.
Yeah, we get to miss Jameson Williams being out there, too, when we get to match up with him. So hopefully that'll help.
Well, you know whose fault that is, though? It's Jameson Williams' fault.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And the run game, Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery.
We ain't going to be upset about it.
Khalif Raymond, we get to see him again.
Well, yeah, and the Laporta kid at tight end. But here's where it started, guys. If you'll remember when that group first came in there, and they chose the offensive tackle as their first round pick, people were losing their minds. They need everything. Why are they taking a tackle? Why are they taking Penei Sewell? Why are they doing this? Well, you know why now. They know how they built it from the front back, got the quarterback finally in there, and then Brent just mentioned it. You get Jameer Gibbs. You get David Montgomery. You get him in there. Then you start building it. But they've done it the right way, and clearly it's paying dividends. And as I said, they may be the best team in the NFC right now.
Yeah,
love it, Coach. Thank you. Appreciate it. Always great talking with you, and glad we got that squirrel problem solved yesterday.
Well, and I'm glad that we've got Hadley set on her career path, not soccer.
Ain't soccer.
Thank you, Coach.
See you guys.
Right, Coach Mack, presented by Two Rivers Ford. Your reaction, Titans make 2 trades today. DeAndre Hopkins gone, Ernest Jones gone, 615-737-1045.
Holistic stem cell therapy. Kellerman Stem Cell Institute can help you out with that. You're feeling a little banged up. You're feeling a little inflammation. You probably at, your local community center or wherever you are, fitness center, doing some workout, or probably at the park, just outside, maybe gardening, whatever it is, cutting the grass. All of it can be affected by inflammation. Yes, that little pain that you're feeling when your feet hit the ground, when you wake up out the bed, you got to do that slow walk to the bathroom. That's inflammation, people. It's your body, your cells, your solution. It can all take over for you right now. You can get it done, and I promise you, it works. I'm telling you because I had it done with my knee, my shoulder. I got to go back and get a little refill with my hip, though. Just a little touch-up, and that's part of it. You can go ahead and do that as well because they store your cells, yes, for continued use, for future and continued use. These cells are your body's own healing cells, harvested and redeployed based on your needs. Call 615-850-4415 to get your consultation today. That's KellamStemCellInstitute.com.
All right, I want to tell you about Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville. So we know holiday season's coming up, right? I know we have Halloween and Thanksgiving, but Christmas right around the corner, and so maybe you want holiday lighting. Have you ever been to Cheekwood Estates and Gardens and their holiday lights at Cheekwood? Beautiful, right? Well, guess who maintains that and puts it all together? Oh, that would be Bob Lyons and his team at Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville. They've installed and maintained the holiday lights at Cheekwood for the past 8 years, and guess what? They can make your holiday lighting experience easier at your house, too. Yeah, they do it. No ladders, no boxes, no mess. They do the design, the installation, the takedown, and then the storage of your Christmas lights. You can go online to NashvilleChristmasLights.com to find out about that. And if you would like landscape lighting where they can beautify and enhance your home and landscape, then you can also go online for Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville and schedule a free nighttime design demonstration to show you how they can make your home look amazing with lighting. Go see Bob Lyons, the team at Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville. Just go online, outdoorlights.com/Nashville.
Three HL 1045 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. Let's get your reaction Titans deal DeAndre Hopkins to Kansas City for a 5th round that could turn into a 4th round. It will turn into a 4th round if Kansas City reaches the Super Bowl and D-Hop plays 60% of the snaps. Titans also will pay $2.5 million of his $8 million this year. Ernest Jones. Now, this one's a little more complicated. So Ernest Jones gets traded to the Seattle Seahawks for linebacker Jerome Baker, who is 6'2", 232 pounds, 27 years old, 3rd-round pick out of Ohio State in 2008. Dolphins, 6th season, Seahawks this year. 7.4 tackles per game, probably plug-and-play type guy. You've also got Dr. Gibby back there. He has 1 sack. He has 23.5 sacks in his 7 seasons. This is his 7th season, 3 100-tackle seasons. So Ernest Jones to the Seahawks for linebacker Jerome Baker and a 4th-round pick. But when you factor in what the Titans did to get Ernest Jones, they traded a 5th round to – they got Ernest Jones and a 6th rounder for a 5th rounder. So – they ended up basically traded a 5th rounder for Jerome Baker, a 4th and a 6th. So that is a gangster move by Rand Carthon when you look at that deal in its totality. Now you lose a thumper of a player in Ernest Jones. But both of these guys were on the last year of their deal. And so Ernest Jones, you keep around, you're going to pay him a lot of money for an inside linebacker position, which we've been told or by people around the league is becoming kind of like the running back, like devalued financially. Economically, like the running back position, and safety is also turning into that. So that leads us, we were just looking at, and we'll go to the phones to get your reaction on those 2 deals, but one thing to think about, if you're looking for expiring contracts, there's another one out there, Quantre Diggs. 1 year left on his deal for $3 million. That's a movable piece, and he's playing well.
And playing snaps in good shape.
So
ready to go.
So if you're looking for maybe the next move, maybe that's it. Maybe they do more, maybe they don't. I don't know, but 2 moves today. 615-737-1045. Let's go to JT in Gallatin. JT, what's up?
1877 Titans suck. SUCK suck. Clean the whole house. Get them out.
Oh, boy.
Clean the whole house, huh?
The entire house, like all 53 or all 22. That's what I would like to know.
Or he's talking coaches.
Oh, he's talking about all the way up.
I mean, if you say clean out the whole
house,
that's to me that's it's a little dramatic.
He came with a little song.
A little dramatic, but I did like the creativity.
That was cool.
Yeah.
From Buck Rising today.
The jingle.
Developing. The Titans have no intentions of trading Jeffrey Simmons after sending DeAndre Hopkins to the Chiefs. That came out today from A to Z Sports and Buck Rising.
Good job, guys.
Steve in Mount Juliet. Steve, what's up?
I mean, I think it's common sense.
Hey, I've got a question. When did we hire Rand Carthon? Was it back in April?
This is his 2nd year on the job.
What?
Yeah.
I thought they just hired him.
Well, he stayed behind the scenes a little bit in year 1, and Vrabel kind of ran everything. But
Okay.
But yeah, he's had 2. He's had 2 drafts technically, although it's questionable how much pull he had in that first one.
Okay, I did some homework. Mike Veach is the GM for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
No, Brett Veach is the GM for the Chiefs. Mike Lynch is the GM for the 49ers. And obviously, why didn't we approach those guys instead of hiring Rand? Because these guys have successful teams. They're successful GMs. He wasn't a proven GM. So I just wonder, why didn't we approach them and take them away from those teams?
I mean,
you did take them away from San Francisco.
Yeah. He was at San Francisco, just not as the GM. But Steve, that's kind of like saying, well, why don't you just go get Patrick Mahomes
or Bill Belichick?
Or because I mean, if they're having success somewhere as a GM, why would they want to go to a franchise that has struggled and had coaching changes and all of that just to prove that they can rebuild a franchise or get a franchise out of the dumpster? So like that, it's not, you can't, I don't know. That doesn't really make sense. It's not like you can just go, just like in college, it's not like you can say, we're just going to go hire Nick Saban away from Alabama when he was there. Like why would they leave?
That's successful
but
for a
doesn't
reason.
the GM pick the players?
I mean, it's It is at the end of the day, everything falls under the GM. You are in charge. You're at the top. It is your show. It's your game. It is all on you eventually. If it doesn't work well, if the drafts aren't right, whatever, it's on you.
Yeah,
because you're in charge. You're accountable for it. At the end of the day, though, it is an entire, I hate the word collaboration, but it is. I mean, you have a scouting department, you have a draft department, you have coaches that want to be involved. There's a lot to it. But at the end of the day, if it goes bad, it's on the GM.
And it's more than that. It's a process as well. Like, this doesn't – I'm going to continue saying this. If you go back 2 years ago, what was the Titans' record? The year after that, what was the Titans' record? Then you get to this year. Like, it didn't all of a sudden you look up and you were standing in a hole that was dug. It didn't just
like, the hole has been there.
Yeah, like he jumped
You're trying
in the
to get
hole.
out.
There you go.
And
What do you think the problem is with the Titans? They're trash.
I think it's multiple problems. I think.
Yeah, they ain't one.
And now I probably don't have time to jump into it, but Slay and I were talking before the show too. I mean, first and foremost, you don't have a quarterback, and you thought that maybe you did in Will Levis, and I think we've kind of seen now that he might not be it.
And on the flip side of that, you don't have an offensive line to see if he's it all the way.
Correct. And then on top of that, you have, I think I am very surprised at maybe some of the struggles that Brian Callahan has had as a first-time head coach and play caller. I did not expect that the struggles would be there as much as we've seen when it comes to being able to call an offense, handle all of it, make sure that you can get production out of your roster. Now, that falls also on the fact that the offensive line is so bad and that your quarterback has not been it. And I think you have a quarterback who's mentally fragile, honestly, in Will Levis.
Yeah.
So I think there's a bunch of different pieces, but I think the biggest surprise for me also has to do with, the transition into a first-time head coach and it just not working. And I think that they made moves to be able to make it work, this year and let it not be a complete rebuild. And they tried. And when you don't hit on your quarterback, or if your quarterback just isn't it early and your offensive line is not good early, then here you are.
Yeah.
615-737-1045. The problems are complete. And what did I say yesterday?
Numerous.
It is a calamity. We'll continue the discussion when we come back. Get more of your phone calls, your reaction. Ernest Jones gone. DeAndre Hopkins gone. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, y'all? Yes, the weather, it will be get bad. It will be get bad. I don't know what that is. Will be get bad. But if it will be get bad, you be ready. All you got to do is hit up Cove Generators and make sure you're ahead of the curve. Get with Generator Dave. Get you a Generac automatic standby generator. And I promise you, they even got a warranty for you, don't they, Babsy?
Yeah, you will get warranty. How about that? New 7-year warranty upgrade over $1,000 value if you just go see Cove Generators and get you a Generac automatic standby generator. By the way, they can do maintenance on any generator that you own as well. They'll make sure that you get the right generator for your home to make sure your family is protected and you never lose power again. Financing is available. They even have some as low as 0% financing. And they will make sure to take care of you. Generators is all they do at Cove. So call them at 931-559-3311 and never lose power again. Visit Cove, C-O-V-E, generators.com.
Stay connected through it all.
Yeah.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Good afternoon. It is 4:01. I'm just been on live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. Busy day for the Titans as the team reportedly made 2 trades early this morning. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins is sent to the Kansas City Chiefs for a 2025 fifth rounder that can become a fourth if Hopkins plays 60% of the snaps and Kansas City makes a Super Bowl appearance. The Titans will have to pay $2.5 million of Hopkins' remaining salary. Also, linebacker Ernest Jones IV was sent to the Seattle Seahawks for linebacker Jerome Baker and a 2025 fourth-round pick. Brian Callahan met with the media earlier today, and while he couldn't address the trade rumors that were circling around, he did give an update on the Titans' quarterback situation heading into the Week 8 game versus the Lions. The Wednesday injury report is out for the Titans, and here's who did not practice for Tennessee. Jalen Duncan missed with a hamstring injury. Calvin Ridley missed with a foot injury. Jeffrey Simmons missed due to rest. L'Jarius Sneed missed due to a quad injury. Julius Chestnut and Keandre Coburn, Will Levis, and Tyjae Spears were all limited. For our foundation repair, waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Bulls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
The Top 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great Wednesday.
Day.
Coming up tomorrow, Thursday, Buffalo Wild Wings in Cool Springs will be there. Also,
Be a good time.
Tennessee and Western Kentucky playing baseball at the Nashville Sounds First Horizon Park coming up on Friday at 6 o'clock. We will be doing the show live there. Tony Vitello will join us live from the stadium. Don Davenport is here.
What up?
What up,
Let's go.
Man.
Happy Wednesday, people. Hump day.
It is hump day. We're just motoring through this week. Going to be some really good football games coming up this weekend. In the SEC, Oklahoma at number 18, Ole Miss. Arkansas at Mississippi State. Number 21, Missouri at number 15, Alabama. Number 5, Texas at 25, Vanderbilt. I read that they they don't have room for Bevo at Vanderbilt, so Bevo's not coming. That's what I read. Maybe they found a different way since I
didn't
read
know
that.
Bevo travels.
Oh, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't. That would be.
I thought he only traveled for post.
Then why would someone write a story about how Vanderbilt Stadium is so small that Bevo can't go?
Because
I don't know.
They're just taking a shot.
Maybe he does travel. I don't know.
I
should know. I'm best friends with him.
Yes, you are. In his horns. I only see him at the Red River Rivalry, and like you said, at a bowl game or a championship game.
Right.
Other than that, that's a big old,
because
massive animal to be picking up
also,
and going every week. There ain't no.
Also, Bevo has his little area in DKR Stadium it has misters, it has food, it has setup. I mean, it's a whole setup. Mm-hmm. It's not like you can just bring him and let him hang on the sideline or something.
Dang, I want to see him.
And let me tell you this, he's they don't want a Bevo that is tame because it's a mask guy, showing rowdy power or whatever.
Just keep him over there on the baseball field.
Yeah, no,
let him
he's
graze.
not. It's not like he's
graze.
It's not like he's let me go pet Bevo. Trust me.
Yeah, you've been around him.
I did pet him.
Is it him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it would. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Duh.
I won't go into the details of that, but yeah.
Yeah, number 5 Texas at number 25 Vanderbilt. Number 8 LSU at number 14 Texas A&M. That's a night game, 6:30 ABC. That's going to be fun. And Auburn at Kentucky.
Yeah.
6:45 SEC Network. So we'll talk about all those games and more with Todd Ferman, Bet the Board podcast coming up at 4:20. The big news of the day. Obviously, the Titans have traded away Ernest Jones and DeAndre Hopkins. The wide receiver room now is Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd, NWI, Jaquan Jackson, Traylon Burks, who's hurt, and the practice squad has Mason Kinsey, fourth-year guy. He's played 9 games. out of Berry College. And Bryce Oliver, undrafted free agent from Youngstown State. And Tay Martin, he's played 3 games with the San Francisco 49ers. Getting your take on what's happened today, 615-737-1045. We're intrigued by this one. Ron Slay's conscience is on the line. What up, Ron Slay's conscience?
I am Ron Slay's conscience, and I'm gonna tell y'all what the next trade's gonna be. We're gonna get rid of that old kicker. I love him because he don't miss, but we got to get to the 20-yard line for him to kick. So we're gonna get rid of Nick Folk, try to get a 5th or a 6th, and bring back Narveson. I'm Ron Slay's conscience.
Wow. Trade the kicker, huh? You go get a 5th-round pick. You got a 5th-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins, a Hall of Fame wide receiver. You go get a 5th-round pick for a kicker?
Hey, don't ask me. That's my conscience speaking. Got to ask him.
That might have been after a day of tailgating.
It could possibly be. Could be 4-ish, 5-ish in the morning right now. Yeah.
By the way, you said that little meme that's going around from the Denzel Washington pilot movie?
Flight,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, my brother was in that. Yeah.
So was.
Yeah.
You seen it?
No.
That's a shame, baby.
Nope.
That's an incredible film.
It is. And I'm ashamed of you a little bit.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's testifying. Spoiler alert! He's testifying. He said, "I was this." This was Slay was like, "This is me after Tennessee football weekend." Alabama game. I was drunk on October 12th. I was drunk on October 13th. I was drunk on October 14th.
And then what they didn't play on there later on in the part, he said, "I'm drunk right now." That was the coldest part right there.
615-737-1045. I mean,
I say Ron Slay's conscience is drunk. Hey,
Yeah.
who knows?
I mean, this is where we are. We're getting phone calls about trading kickers.
No, and from me.
From you.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, everybody's on the block.
Well, you have to look at. I think you have to look
Almost
at
everybody.
expiring contracts.
Right.
That's why I brought up Quandre Diggs. Quandre Diggs is a starter for you. He would provide someone with value that's a good team that might be missing something there or have an injury there. He's only making $3 million this year, and then his contract expires. That's kind of what I went through Spot Track looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people brought up Big Jeff. How the hell are you going to trade Big Jeff?
You are not.
Even if you wanted to, he's got 4 years left on his deal at $94 million. Who's taking that on?
No, that's so wild to me. Like I don't even like. That's what it's not too many times I'm left speechless, but that's one of them. Every time that
Big
comes
Jeff
up,
has been brought up all over the internet.
Right. So the thought
all over our station.
The thought there, I think, is T. Sweat has turned into this thing, and that makes Jeffrey Simmons expendable. I don't believe in that, but I think a lot of people have gone there in their head.
Can I also say this? Okay, fire sale, whatever. You know, this year is it ain't happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get that, but you also have to understand that you need pieces in a rebuild. It's not like you're going to rebuild a team through the draft alone and even through free agency. That it doesn't work that way. And when you have pieces that are hard to find,
Right.
like a Big Jeff and what he's been able to do, and like a Sweat, and like having those two together, like you have to have something to build the foundation of your rebuild on, right?
Yep.
Isn't that a part of it?
It's supposed to be.
Isn't that, I mean, this defense is good, right?
Yeah.
Everything else is just a dumpster fire, and they weren't good last week. I get that.
Half
but-
the offensive line is good. You just need if you were able to go get, well, it'll still be in question, but it'll be better, I believe, if you could shore up that right tackle spot, which it seems we're going to have to do in the draft, because nobody's letting the right tackle walk out the door. That's good.
No, they'll have to draft another one early.
So, I mean,
it was brought up. I forget who, because there are a lot of people in the chat, and it's moving fast. But Landry going to get left in Detroit this weekend, I fear. Landry's another one. I can't. Like, you can't say never on any of these, right? But the fact that he has 5 years left on his deal at $87.5 million, it makes it hard to move a guy like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or am I crazy?
Somebody said birds, and I'm like,
yeah,
you also have to have somebody.
Yeah, you got to have no.
They have to have
some
value.
Bingo.
There's zero value there.
And that's my guy.
Yeah, and whatever you think about Traylon Burks, he's hurt right now, so nobody's dealing with that.
There's no value there. Even if he wasn't hurt, there's no value there.
615-737-1045. Darrington in Nashville.
It's just true.
Darrington, what's up?
What's happening, man? Listen, see all this Titans. There's too much gloom and gloom on this hump day. Let's talk about something.
Wait a minute, Darrington. I thought you would love this. Like, first of all, we ain't heard from you in forever, but now that we have, I thought this would be right up your alley, brother.
I mean, you don't want to hit a man when he's down, but you know, I told y'all so. But anyway, hey, back to what I was saying. Let's talk about something that was great. Last night, I got to witness history. I got to witness a father and a son step on an NBA basketball court together. And not only that, LeBron won his first season opener as a Laker. 7 years. He finally did it. Now, you want to talk about some greatness? There goes some greatness right there. All the Titans dumpster fire. Yeah. What do you do with a dumpster fire? You call 911 and you let them handle it. We shouldn't be talking about Titans until 2025. What's the purpose? You ain't giving yourself nothing but a headache. Oh, another thing. Tell Tennessee, them UT balls, Mr. Ron Slay. I heard there was a bulldog on his way, and they were looking for a volunteer. But I'll sit back and wait.
Hey, y'all looking that far ahead? No, we ain't. Wow. Hey, boy. Look. See, that's when you know things are starting to shift, boy. It's 3 weeks out. And is it 3? It might be 4 weeks because it's a bye week. Then you got Kentucky. Then you got
Mississippi State. Then at Georgia.
Yeah.
November 16th.
Y'all looking at far. Hey, boy, thank you. Step us, solidify us. We are back. You right. You said it. I didn't.
By the way, we were looking at Tennessee's schedule yesterday, and I kind of blew through UTEP. Do you know what UTEP is?
What?
Well, they played last night, so let me check them out. They are 1-7. They lost last night. They're 1-7.
Oh, wow.
And they got to go deal with that Tennessee defense.
Oh, what? That's after the Georgia game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There'd be some resting going on.
Probably so.
Get ready for Vandy.
Yeah.
I still want to see
You got to get ready for
there.
them. Yeah.
I want to see the March Bevo right down West End. That's what I want to see.
No,
that'd be something.
This is Texas's first SEC road game. Did y'all realize that?
Is it?
Yeah.
You talking about scheduling, boy. Hello.
Right.
Wow.
Them in Missouri. Missouri, man. Go look at their schedule.
Let's go fight Clark Lees. Get them, baby.
That's right. Hey, line's down to 18.5.
It's dropping.
Some money on the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Let's go get them, Pavius.
We'll talk with Todd Ferman about that game and more next. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
All right, y'all. You know what time it is. It's time to eat. And where you going to go? You got to go to Shoney's. It's delicious. And it's been trending at Shoney's for over 75 years. That's right, the deliciousness. Yes, it has. Make sure to head into get a delicious Shoney's meal at any Middle Tennessee location, whether it be Clarksville, Dixon, Lebanon, or the one right there on Donaldson Pike in Nashville. That's the one we just were at. That's a lie. We were just at the one in Lebanon. So we got Clarksville and Dixon coming up soon. So be sure to tune in to 3HL, and we'll let you know where we're headed to. And did you also know that they have themed meals throughout the week? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What's the day? Wednesday, hump day. That's the best day for me. Breakfast for dinner, as like Shoney's like to call it, Brenner. Your Shoney's signature breakfast bar served you at night and all with the fixings. Also, the salad bar is still there. You can always dive down there and get some of that. Don't forget to get that world-famous hot fudge cake, or like Babsy likes, the fresh-baked strawberry pie or the skillet cookie, too. Can't really go wrong. All you care to eat fresh food bar, get you some. It's Shoney's. Let's eat.
All right, someone asked me the other day, do you know how many devices one average home has connected to their Wi-Fi? Way more than you would even think, way more than I think. And if you go count them all, you're probably like our family and our household, which has more than a dozen, all to keep us connected to everything, whether that will be interneting, gaming for the kiddos, or streaming, TV, kids shows. Xfinity Xfinity knows the number of devices we have grows by the year, which is why they engineered their gateways to handle hundreds of connected devices. And I'm not being sarcastic. It really is hundreds. Now through December 22nd, get 150 megabyte Xfinity internet for just $35 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, get free Wi-Fi equipment included. And make sure your home Wi-Fi can handle everything you throw at it and then some. Switch today. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes, fees, extra after promo. Regular rates apply. Currently $56 a month. Actual speeds vary.
Anderson, you can find me on Ramon, Kayla, and Will from 6 to 10 a.m. on 104.5 The Zone. And if you want to advertise with us on radio or digital, you should do it. We have had digital numbers skyrocket on our show, and we would love to endorse you as well. All you got to do is go online to 1045thezone.com/epic.
3-tell, 104.5 The Zone, Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. We had a call from Ron Slay's conscience earlier, which I would have thought would come from Vegas in the form of Todd Ferman at some point. Todd, what's up? How are you?
That's a lot of responsibility, and I do not want to take ownership of being Ron Slay's conscience in any capacity. Big day last night, by the way, in the Music City. Good to see that the Preds will not go 0-82 this season with all the money they spent in the offseason to bolster that roster.
They were trying to. No, they were trying to get right, man.
Sometimes it takes a little while to build some chemistry on the ice when you bring in aging vets, but UC Saros with a solid game, and kudos to everyone's beloved Tennessee Volunteers with the big win last week. And I don't want to bury the lead in the wake of that 24-17 decision at Neyland Stadium.
Well, let's go back to Friday, and this is how Ron Slay was prognosticator Slay in his conscience.
And if you wanted something else, just for poops and giggles, Tennessee money line and take the under. The score will be 24-17.
How about that, Todd Ferman?
They get their passing attack
How
going.
about it? He nailed it.
I'm very impressed. Hopefully Slay bet the exact final score, and it can atone for all the parlays that have gone out the window throughout the course of football season, but a win nonetheless. And let's be honest here. Slay can take a lot of credit for things, and predicting the score is something quite impressive. But backing Tennessee on the money line is something Slay does every single game they play in one capacity or another. So you get no credit for doing that when it's blind loyalty and optimism that leads you to the window, backing the orange on the money line.
But see, this is the thing you got to know, Todd Father. When I bet Tennessee that way, I never put them in a parlay. So I always bet them single game. This time they were in the parlay with those numbers attached. That's how confident I was feeling. And listen, you can try to downplay my Slay-Stradamus all you want to. I know you'll do something to get Payne or somebody down there in Florida to do something quirky with my phone to tap into my line to try to figure out what I'm betting to get ahead of the things before you put the bet the board out. And no, I won't be on. I won't be on until March. Don't ask me anything. I'm not giving you no tips as far as who I know is going to win, because I know who's going to win, Todd Father. And if you don't want to tap into Slay-Stradamus, I'll let somebody else tap into Slay-Stradamus. 24-17, you heard that. That was on Friday. The game was on Saturday, Todd Father. Now what?
The only follow-up question I have for you, Slay, can you predict the outcome on November 16th when you guys go to Athens? Are you going to predict a Tennessee outright win in that particular spot as well to cement the Volunteers punching their ticket to the college football playoff?
Todd Father, so far down the road. My brain don't work like that, man. There's so many games going on. I think, we got a game every day till Thanksgiving. Now NBA started up. It's just so cloudy up there right now, Todd Father.
Furman, he just made his money back from that Arkansas debacle.
That's what I figured, Don. He's still playing uphill, trying to claw back to even the way the season has gone. And Slay, to your point, we do have games pretty much every night, although the two games I watched in Conference USA last night, I'm pretty sure a Tennessee high school all-star team would have been able to dispatch with those four teams and the level of play that was on full display.
Todd, Tennessee does get UTEP at home. And it's going to be a tough one.
They do, and hopefully, for UTEP, they have a quarterback that can throw the forward pass by the time they come to Neyland Stadium for that game, because the third stringer that I watched last night try and lead the come-from-behind drive when they were trailing 14-10, it's never good when the announcers, who don't have a dog in the fight, say, you know what, it's going to be tough for UTEP to go more than 60 yards with the quarterback play we've seen tonight. And sure enough, they throw short of the sticks. Not quite sure how they called it a first down, but they came to their senses when the receiver was about 6 yards short on the game's winning drive that Louisiana Tech holds up for the win.
All right, let's hop into this weekend slate. Should we start with my beloved Auburn Tigers?
At Kentucky.
I mean, we can. And, unfortunately, Don, I came on these very fine airways when we previewed the SEC before the season. And I'm paraphrasing what I said, that if I was going to buy stock in one of the teams in the SEC, I believed I said that I would do so in Auburn. If that was the case, my 401k and my retirement strategy might be completely out the window, and I'd probably be looking for another job to help line my pockets, because what's going on down there in the Plains is downright horrific with yet another lethargic offensive performance. You can't hold up with a 2-touchdown lead, and it gets so bad that Brady Cook goes to the hospital during the game and still comes back to lead the game-winning drive. The Lord only knows what they put in his system. And I'm not going to make a case to back Auburn here as a 2.5-point dog against Kentucky, but I'm also also not going to go to the window backing the Wildcats in this particular spot because they weren't much better in Gainesville last week. Self-inflicted wounds. They couldn't cover the deep ball at all. And when you look at their short yardage scenarios for a team that prides itself on physicality, an absolute disaster. So two teams headed in the wrong direction, but clearly a bowl eligibility elimination game for both teams involved Saturday night at 6:45 Central.
What do you foresee in terms of that Kentucky at Tennessee at night game deal in 2 weeks?
It'll depend again on what Kentucky does this week for their game against Auburn. I mean, if they go out there and lose outright, you're talking about a big, big number that you'll see on full display because this is a Wildcats team that had been a bet-on team. At least last week against Florida, we saw them move from a 2.5-point underdog, close to a 2.5-point favorite. And while I don't think the game was a 4-touchdown blowout, Kentucky didn't exactly acquit themselves all that well. I think right now, all things being equal, you're looking at Tennessee in that 14-17 range. And if Kentucky stubs its toe yet again, that number will balloon, potentially flirting with that 17-21 range instead.
Number 8, LSU at number 14, Texas A&M, 6:30 night game in College Station, Texas A&M by 2.5.
Going to be one of the more electric atmospheres that we see in college football on Saturday. It's been interesting to watch this game move in the market. We saw A&M open as much as a 3.5-point favorite. You didn't see much in the way of resistance as that price now sitting at 2.5. You look at this LSU team, and we know they can protect as well as any team in the country. Garrett Nussmeier has been outstanding, but more importantly for the Tigers, they've shown a little bit of balance in recent weeks with the emergence of Caden Durham, who had 3 rushing touchdowns. They did a good job defensively holding Taylon Green and that Arkansas offense in check. And you hate to say it because you never want to see a player get injured like Harold Perkins, but it almost feels like addition by subtraction for the LSU defense. Everybody is starting to grasp Blake Baker's system. They're playing faster. They're playing a little bit freer. And what you're seeing is Whit Weeks has become a heat-seeking missile for this team with 18 tackles the week before against Ole Miss, followed it up with a dominant performance getting into the backfield. And LSU knows they have the offensive firepower to hang around. I didn't love Mike Elko's comments about Connor Wegman either. I mean, A&M took a ton of money, got bet from 14 out to 20 for their game against Mississippi State and didn't really have a chance to cover. I'm a little bit concerned if A&M can't get pressure that the back end could be exposed. I lean under here and have no real interest in getting involved in the side, but I love the fact that we're going to see A&M in all blacks on Saturday night and LSU will counter with all whites. Should be outstanding visuals.
Well, on West End, you got Texas and family headed up here for their first road SEC game that I've been informed by Euro. Now, what is Vandy going to do with this, 18.5?
Yep, 18.5, 19, kind of that no man's land, north of 17, but south of 21. And we look at Vandy, last week you figured it was going to be a little bit of a flat spot for the Doors, and it sure was. I mean, they went out there and just looked to try and escape with a win against Ball State. They ground the clock down. They kept Ball State's offense on the sidelines. And it's the second time this year against an FBS opponent where Vandy comes in as more than a touchdown favorite and has no chance to cover the number. But they're back in a role where they're much more comfortable this week, catching north of 2 scores against a team that they can frustrate with their 3 yards and a cloud of dust type approach. What Tim Beck and Diego Pavia have been able to put together is nothing short of outstanding. I mean, Jerry Kill as the offensive analyst and the production we're seeing from Eli Stowers that may get him into the discussion as one of the top tight ends off the board in the NFL draft is a real credit to the way Clark Lee has kind of revamped this program from top to bottom. I mean, Vandy deserves a world of credit because defensively they just can't stack up with other SEC teams, but that job gets considerably easier for the stop unit when you're only out there for 48 plays like they were against Alabama, the mid-50s against Kentucky, and we'll see if they can employ that blueprint. They're starting to feel like a service academy in the SEC, that you have to scheme for them differently. Just because power numbers suggest that this price might be a little bit short for Texas, you have to factor in pace and tempo. And I think Vandy goes in there with a puncher's mentality. If Texas's offense struggles again, Vandy may have a chance to pull off the outright upset, but the only way to look here is taking the Doors plus the points, hoping they can keep this game within arm's reach from start to finish, and that Quinn Ewers continues to flounder, leading the offense that just hasn't looked nearly as dynamic since Texas got in SEC play.
21 Missouri at 15 Alabama. Can Bama get it back together?
Real sharp money on this game earlier today on the total. We saw 55s turn into 53s, and it makes a lot of sense for an Alabama offense that has lacked identity and some of that big play potential in recent weeks. Meanwhile, on the other side, for Missouri offensively, who knows the exact status around Brady Cook and that lower body injury. From what I was told, not at practice today. They do expect him to try and go, and we'll figure out what the mobility looks like. But you just haven't seen some of that big play potential for Missouri in the passing game or in the ground attack. And maybe it's because they don't have that same physicality they had last year with Cody Schrader. But defense has dropped off, but I think this is more a reflection of where Alabama is offensively. And you wonder how much pressure those players are feeling right now after their second loss. So lean under, but the best of the number not out there, and don't really have a whole lot of interest in the side with the price sitting just shy of 14 at 13.5.
Todd Ferman, our guy in Vegas, breaking it down. The Bet the Board podcast, college football today, NFL tomorrow.
Yeah, Texas A&M. What do you think? Mike Elko and those guys get it done?
Slay, were you not paying attention? We broke this game down earlier in the segment?
I missed it. I need it. That's why I asked again.
Slay.
He said it's going to be
you can go
aesthetically.
back and listen.
No, but I need. He said as well. I heard the black
Aesthetically
uniforms.
beautiful.
One team's wearing black, one team's wearing white.
I missed the early part.
If I had to get involved in this game, I think LSU's defense is trending up. I worry about A&M and their receivers' ability to get open. And I have questions about A&M along the offensive line with Chase Basantis, one of their top players there, potentially being out of the mix. So I think it's the first team to 27 that gets a win here. So if I had to get involved in this one, I would lean under. And my numbers are kind of right in that 2.78 range. So at 2.5, don't have a strong opinion. If it got to 3, could see making a case for LSU. If it trended down a little bit, maybe a cheap money line buy on A&M given the home atmosphere.
I won't even make you tell me about the uniforms again.
Yeah. You want to hear about Vandy in Texas?
I got that one.
Yeah, that one's happening too.
What about... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, selfishly, can I ask you about my game before we get into the other ones that are better?
I think the big question that you're going to be faced with out there, Dawn, is does Cal have anything left in the tank?
I know, right?
I mean,
have you seen anything like this as far as how many close games they've lost?
It places a premium on being good at the little things, which in the case of the Cal Golden Bears is just having a place kicker. Because if they had something working in their favor there, I mean, this is a team over their last 4 games. You could make a legitimate case that they should have won 3 out of those 4. We'd be talking about Cal being 6-1, laying a number closer to 17. So if Cal wants to be there, and this will be the first time in 3 or 4 weeks that they can punch down in class. We saw it once already against the Mountain West team in the middle of September. They took care of business against San Diego State. The one thing about Oregon State is they're thin along the defensive line. The offense lacks an ability to show true balance. And I think it's a good buy low spot because if Cal wants to be here, this number is extremely cheap. I mean, I make NC State about a 4-point favorite on a neutral against Oregon State, and you're laying a shorter price here this week with Cal because they've lost 4 in a row. But you do wonder how much of a mental toll those 4 losses have taken on this team. But I think heading into the bye, you'll get an all-in effort from Fernando Mendoza, potentially a return of Jade Knott, and Cal can win this game going away against the Beavers team that can't play from behind if they're not able to run the football.
There you go.
All right, I do got another one.
That he hasn't hit.
Yeah, that I haven't hit. Army and Navy, we know what they are right now. Can Notre Dame get it done?
I mean, I think normally when we look at these service academies and they have a chance to sneak up on Notre Dame, that's where they play their best. But Notre Dame will not get caught looking past an undefeated Navy team. And the last time these two teams did battle when they were ranked came back in 2019. What did Notre Dame do in that game? They laid 7 and they put a 50 spot on Navy, winning the game 52-20. Now, I don't know if Notre Dame is going to score 50 in this game because if I thought they were, I would be more than happy to bet the game over the total at 51. But I do think Navy is in for a major step up in class. When you look at the teams that Navy has played, they deserve a world of credit. They've taken care of inferior foes on their schedule. But the only team that's got an offense inside the top 50 that they faced was Memphis. Memphis went up and down the field on them, and Navy isn't going to find it nearly as easy to match the Irish score for score. So for me, while despite Navy being one of the better stories that we've seen in college football, they feel like an awfully trendy underdog and the proverbial dog with fleas this week. Notre Dame or pass, especially south of 2 touchdowns.
There you go.
What do you think about Oklahoma and Ole Miss? Jackson Arnold now back in at quarterback. Ole Miss by 20.5. What do you think?
I think Oklahoma's got to figure out if they can find 2 other wins on their schedule to get this team bowl eligible right now. They do have an FCS game against Maine, but you look at what this team is going to be faced with in their first year in the SEC. I mean, try and find a win at Ole Miss, at Missouri, home against Alabama, at LSU. Good luck, Brett Venables. And I'm wondering now if the Sooners kind of regret giving him a contract extension they claim was to help recruiting, given the performance we've seen so far. I don't want to lay a big number like this with Ole Miss because I think they believe they have bigger fish to fry, and I wouldn't be shocked at all if we see Trey Harris in a limited capacity, if at all, in this game. Feels like Ole Miss gets out to a lead against a good Oklahoma defense and kind of runs the football in the second half. But the one thing about the Rebs is they've been much more dynamic at home than they have been on the road in terms of putting up crooked numbers. If I had to get involved here, I'd lean under the total at 49. I just don't know what Jackson Arnold and an Oklahoma offense that's so limited in terms of big play potential can do against the talented Ole Miss defensive front.
Is there another college game that we need to pay attention to, Todd?
When you go through the board, I mean, there are a number of interesting games, and I think one that's going to be fascinating from a rivalry standpoint will be in Ann Arbor on Saturday night, where Sharon Moore now starting to come under fire. Can't identify their starting quarterback. Jack Tuttle was horrific last week, and if that's the game plan that Michigan can put together with 2 weeks to prepare with self-inflicted wounds from penalties and turnovers, it doesn't bode well. Meanwhile, on the other side for Michigan State, you can make the case that Michigan State is better at head coach with Jonathan Smith, who I've been a huge fan of since he took over the program in Corvallis, and at quarterback with Aiden Childs than what Michigan has. Michigan State showed a physicality that we haven't seen. They talked about how the bye week allowed them to figure things out along their offensive line. And the strength of this Michigan State team is their defensive front. Challenge with this game is I don't get to a number this short, but it almost feels like 2 ships passing in the night. And you look at how Michigan has drubbed Michigan State over the last 2 years. There's not a doubt in my mind the Spartans would love to go into Ann Arbor under the lights and get a big win, and I think send the program in the right direction. I like Michigan State plus the points, and I really believe they have a chance to win outright against the Michigan defense, despite having some stars, could be down one of their key cogs in the secondary in Will Johnson, and just has an offense right now that I have zero confidence in.
So plus the points, sprinkle low on the money line. I hear you.
Now,
yep, that's kind of my approach there. But Slay, what's the final score? I mean, I don't even need to do any of this heavy lifting if you're going to tell me exactly what the final score is going to be before the game gets played.
Total of 40, Slay.
I'll tell you on November 2nd. For that November 2nd game.
There you go.
No, I appreciate that, Slay. I know it only works when you're looking through those Tennessee Vols goggles to try and be able to interpret scores and spit them out correctly.
And right quite a bit. Titans, where we got the Titans going against the Detroit Lions. What you got?
We're really doing this?
I mean,
you love them. I mean, what are we supposed to do?
I thought I was going to get my pound of flesh last week. Watching that game, they go into the break up 10-7, and then we get the good old 4th and short. And it kind of snowballed from there, although Mason Rudolph was a little bit better on the offensive side. I'm not sure who's still actually going to be a Titan when this game kicks off on Sunday. So that's the other question. But this is a big, big number for a Detroit Lions team that gets caught in a little bit of a sandwich spot. They had a huge divisional win on the road last week against the Vikings. They'll play the Green Bay Packers next week, which will actually be the first time all year that the Lions play on a grass surface. If you're Detroit without Jamison Williams, just get through this game unscathed. I'm not going to make a case to back the Titans plus that generous number, but I'm also not running to the window to back the Lions. Just wild, though, how efficient this offense has been after sputtering out of the gates. I mean, the Lions over their last 4 games have more touchdowns scored as an offense than they do incomplete passes. It's kind of incomprehensible to think about it that way.
It's interesting. Like, the number I saw was 11, and then the Titans made those moves, Ernest Jones and DeAndre Hopkins out. And the head coach sounded today like it's going to be Mason Rudolph, and the line went down to 10.5.
Yeah, 10.5, kind of 11 out there. Just, again, a bad situational spot to expect Detroit to go out there and win by margin. You have seen a little bit of under money. This will be about as low a total as you're going to see in a Lions game this year at 45, and that makes some sense. If the Lions can get a lead, you're going to see a steady dose of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't think the Lions are going to showcase a ton of offensive creativity in this particular spot. And, for all the shortcomings of the Titans so far this year, defensively, that's actually been where they've been at their best. It's just a question of what this team has and, how the locker room is going to feel about all of these moves, trading pieces away. And what we talked about coming into the year for a Titans team that should have been focused on rebuilding and getting young players reps. They went all in on trying to bring in more veterans and overpaying for guys that I didn't think were system fits, and no greater illustration of that than what we've seen from Calvin Ridley, who gets targeted 9 to 10 times a game and typically ends up with as many catches as the 4 of us do on Sundays.
Is there another NFL game we need to know about?
When we look across the slate, I think it's an interesting spot for Jacksonville. this week, catching 4 at home against Green Bay. We don't have a lot of data on the Jags coming home after playing back-to-back games in London. But last year against the Colts, when everyone thought they were going to be tired and sluggish, they put together one of their more complete performances. Went out there, won that game 37-20. And the Jags offense, I know it was an inferior foe, showed me a little bit more. They're healthier in the back end, getting Tyson Campbell in. And I think against this Green Bay team that was a little bit fortunate against the Texans last week, wouldn't be surprised if the Jags find a way to pull off the outright upset. And the other game that we're looking at in the AFC South, Indy and Houston, they've been in a lot of dogfights in recent memory. The last 3 games all decided by a field goal or less. Houston's offense lacks that big play potential that Nico Collins, and you look at the previous meetings, I mean, Nico went for 100-plus in all of those games. They just don't have a guy that can stretch the field right now, despite C.J. Stroud operating much more effectively against Gus Bradley's defense. I think the Colts being healthy can keep this game competitive. And look, Indianapolis, I was blown away. I didn't realize they were 4-3, let alone 6-1 against the number. They may end up finding a way to cover their 7th game of the season in a game that I think will be a little bit more defensive-minded than this total currently at 46 suggests.
Love it, Todd. Thank you, man.
Always a pleasure. Enjoy the games. And, Dawn, I'm sure there are a ton of direct flights that'll get you back and forth from Berkeley in a timely manner for a game on Saturday afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
No, she's going to Oakland.
Yeah. Hey, Dawn, this is the price you pay. You wanted a Friday game last week between Florida State and Duke. They go, you know what? We're going to send you across the country as payback to make it all worthwhile for the network.
That is true.
Thank you, Todd.
Always a pleasure, guys.
All right. At Todd Ferman on X, the Bet the Board podcast, college football today, NFL tomorrow. They break down all of the games. When we come back, more of your reaction. Trade day for the Tennessee Titans. DeAndre Hopkins, Ernest Jones, both gone. 615-737-1045.
Have you heard of Zen Sports? Have you downloaded their app and started betting on Zen Sports? If not, you should, because you'll automatically earn up to $100 no danger first wager, which means that you'll be reimbursed for the amount of your first bet up to $100. Zen Sports is the newest sports book in Tennessee, bringing sports betting to a whole new level. And they are offering a ton of fun things: NFL player props, daily promotions, including odds boost, no danger wagers, same game parlays, even some same game parlay super boost. I'm looking at my email right now from Zen Sports, which has Wednesday promos, the weekly and daily promotions for today. So a bunch of different things you can jump in on. They have a VIP program. What are you waiting for? Zen Sports, where betting just got better right here in Tennessee. Get going. Download the app at zensports.com today. Sign up for the VIP program at zensports.com/VIP. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. No danger wager. Limited to plus 500 odds to qualify. Must be 21 and older and present in Tennessee to bet.
It is football time in Tennessee. Where are you catching all the college and pro games this season? Scoreboard Bar and Grill is where you need to be. Which location is the question? Scoreboard Opry near Opry Mills Mall in Donaldson, or Scoreboard Cedar Creek in Mount Juliet. All Scoreboard locations have brand new football menus with new food and drink items sure to impress you. Scoreboard Bar and Grill has its own built-in party. Every Scoreboard has tons of TVs and will have all of your favorite games on with full sound. The coldest beer, the largest Bushwhacker selection you will find. Oh, and get this, Scoreboard giving away UT tickets to every home game all season long. Just stop by and sign up for their loyalty program, Scoreboard Stars. Mark your calendar for 2 big Halloween bashes, both on October 26th. Scoreboard Opry will have cosplay cowboys on the stage, and Scoreboard Cedar Creek will have live music from Sister Ruth and the Swamp Grass Revival. If it's football time, it's Scoreboard time. Scoreboard Opry and Scoreboard Cedar Creek, Scoreboard Bar and Grill.
Hello, I'm Ashley Northington, Chair of Moving Forward of Middle Tennessee. The upcoming transit referendum is a game changer for our economy, business leaders, and the entire community. A robust transit system is essential for a thriving economy. With 54 miles of high-capacity transit corridors and 86 miles of new sidewalks, this plan enhances Nashville's connectivity, making it easier for everyone to get where they need to go. This isn't just about transportation. It's about economic empowerment. For business leaders, reliable transit means a more productive workforce. Shorter commutes boost productivity and job satisfaction, helping businesses attract and retain top talent. Improved transit also drives sales and supports local economies by making it easier for customers to reach businesses. The benefits extend to the entire community, connecting people to essential services, education, and recreation. This creates a more inclusive city where everyone can access the resources they need to thrive. Supporting the Choose How You Move transit referendum is an investment in our future. This is about creating a city where businesses can flourish, residents can thrive, and the community enjoys a higher quality of life. Join me in backing this transformative opportunity. Let's build a Nashville where everyone has the opportunity to succeed and to prosper. Visit the link in the caption to learn more about the referendum, how it will support our community, and how you can get involved. Thank you.
They're at 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, and Ron Slay. Dalton Connect made his debut last night.
Yes, he did for the Lake Show. Pretty dope, man. Bronny and King got out there on the court together.
Bronny and King, they came in the game at the same time, too. That was really cool.
Like how J.J. Redick got on, nipped that in the bud, get that on out the way.
Yeah.
It was up by about, 14, 16 at that time?
I mean, Bronny only played 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was entirely done to get that out of the way.
Mr. White, man, great penetrating kick to him, too, from LeBron. You got to knock it down. But
Dalton Connect played 16 minutes.
Pressure, though.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. 2 for 4 from the floor, hit a 3, had 5 points, was +7 on his minutes. Also had 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 rebound. Charles Barkley said this on TNT prior to last night's action.
Listen, first of all, these NBA general managers don't have any idea what they're doing. Letting the Lakers get Dalton Connect was one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. That's a bad boy right there. Dalton Connect, remember that name, y'all. Listen.
That's a bad boy right there.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it. Like, you can see it. He looks comfortable. And
Comfortable.
Yeah.
It's not too big for him.
No, you playing, and he did a great job on the pick and roll, dropping it off to Jackson Hayes. Like, they got to.
Like what?
Be pretty good.
Why did he fall? Because he was
23 years old.
That's it?
That's it.
That's so weird to
That
me.
is it. That is it.
And meanwhile, you got, I know it's LeBron, but
Yeah.
still,
Still, you got
he's
the other
50.
guys, yeah. And then you got to think, this is my whole thing, is the league's not like the league was in 2000s, 2010s even. The lane's wide open, so all that banging on your body outside of you running, jumping, and running into people, you're not going in there and going against 4 people and getting elbowed in the head, hitting the rib, none of that stuff. So, and people ask why LeBron can play that long. First, genetics, what he puts into his body.
He's the biggest freak athlete we've ever seen.
And there's nobody in the lane. Like, there's nobody in the lane. The floor is so spared because the three-point
You're
shooters
saying it's soft
is different.
now.
No, hell no. It ain't, no. It ain't soft by no means, but you ain't getting hit by 4 people.
Right.
The Jordan rules.
Man, what? Like, you had a real power forward in the center, guarded by a power forward in the center. That's 4 people right there.
Gosh, like young people that watch the NBA now, like just pop in some 1980s basketball.
You wouldn't believe it.
Bill Lane Beer. Go watch a Bill Lane Beer highlight.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it.
615-737-1045. Titans with the big deals today. Ernest Jones gone. DeAndre Hopkins gone. Your reaction. Gary in Nashville next up. Gary, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Good, man.
Good. Long-time listener all the way back to when George Plaster was on a different station in it.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
And day one, that season ticket, his cell holder.
Uh-oh. Where are you? You good, Gary?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It went back and forth in my car.
Sorry.
So, I don't know what you heard, but long-time listener.
Yeah,
all the way back to George Plaster, right?
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks. You guys are great. I think you ought to probably rename the show from 3HL to BBS, but that's just my personal opinion.
BVS?
BBS. Brent, Babs, and Slay.
BBS.
I thought you said
I thought you were saying Battervall syndrome.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
That would be a good name for a show.
BBS, no. So, you know what? The year the Titans are having already, it sucks. But think about 10 years ago when Mike Mularkey was the head coach for a very short time, and then Jake Locker, who people hated because he never really did anything. It's kind of similarities to a super El Nino. Every 10 years, things change. So I just spent all this money on new dumb seats, new tickets. I'm hopeful. We got to stop bashing the Titans and just say, good luck, guys. Get to 500 if you can, or do the best you can.
Luckily, there is some time before all that happened. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it.
I like a little. That was the first positive
Been
call
dying
this
for
station has heard probably in 2 weeks.
I've been dying for it.
Listen, man.
And I know it's hard too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard to sit here and think, okay, look. We know what Rand did in the draft last year. Let's see what happens. And now they've got a first, a second, potentially 3 fourth-round picks, a fifth, a sixth, and a seventh currently. And maybe they're not done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
The draft picks last year were J.C. Latham, Tavondre Sweat, Cedric Gray, who we're about to see, I guess, Jarvis Brownlee, Jaquan Jackson, who's the starting returner, obviously, James Williams, who I think will turn into a player, moving from safety to linebacker, and then Jalen Harrell they love at edge.
Yeah, coming off at the edge.
Right. So let's get another draft, see what's going. I hate that we're here. We all
stand that we're here. Didn't expect to be here.
But as you keep saying, they didn't get here overnight.
No, they didn't.
And at the end of the day, you got to find a quarterback.
For sure.
That's what it comes
sure.
down to.
So while all this is going
by the
on,
time you find a quarterback here, I think, hopefully you'll have your offensive line shored up with 8 million straight draft picks of offensive line.
8 million.
Bah!
I mean, they're going to have to
you're right
draft.
on that.
They're going to have to draft a right tackle, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, early. What I mean by that was early.
Yeah.
Yes.
They ain't going to trade for one. They're not out there. They're not giving them away.
MPF, Leroy Watson.
Ooh. I was looking. So I told Zeph to pull how many guys have started on the right side for the Titans this year. It's only been 3.
Yeah.
But doesn't it feel like 8?
Jalen Duncan's another one.
Well, they went. Didn't they go MPF the first 2 games, and then they started cycling like a different guy each week?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't Raiders get some run now for a second too?
No,
Before he moved back
he's
inside?
been a guard though. He's been a guard
Been the whole time.
Yeah.
I
Callahan
thought we
said
started
that.
with Bronskill at first.
It's been so bad, man.
No.
I mean, you can't even keep up.
Callahan said that it would be a disservice to Raiders to put him anywhere other than right
No,
guard.
not now. I'm saying early in the season.
Yeah, I don't think so. But man, hasn't he gotten better?
That's what you need, growth.
Some guys, it just takes a minute.
You need one more spot to grow.
Right tackle. Another first round, second round pick on the right tackle?
Yeah. We go first round.
615-737-1045.
What's happening, fellas? You're out there feeling a little tired, lacking motivation and drive, and you're gaining weight or noticing a loss of muscle mass. Well, these all could be signs that are pointing towards low testosterone. Don't wait. Get in there and find out. Get in where? Low T Center. They make it easy to get your levels checked. It's just a simple blood test, and with their on-site lab, you'll get results back in about 25 minutes. So get back to your best. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment today. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Good evening. It is 5:03. I'm Joe Spinano, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. Busy day for the Titans as the team reportedly made 2 trades earlier this morning. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins to the Chiefs for a 2025 fifth-rounder that become a fourth round if Hopkins plays 60% of the snaps and Kansas City makes the Super Bowl. Also, linebacker Ernest Jones IV to Seattle for linebacker Jerome Baker and a 2025 fourth-rounder. The team was back on the practice field today, and the Wednesday injury report is out. No sign of Jalen Duncan with a hamstring issue. Both Jeffrey Simmons was out of practice due to rest. L'Jarius Sneed missed to a quad. Calvin Ridley missed practice due to a foot injury, while Julius Chestnut, Keandre Coburn, Will Levis, and Tyjae Spears were all limited. For our foundation repair and waterproof needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Bringing news at once on your home for the Titans and Bulls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
.3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great Wednesday, Slay Dog.
Day! This Sunday, baby. This Sunday.
What Sunday?
Got these little Hoosiers coming to town. Little Babsies.
Not Babsies.
Married into life.
Yes.
Hoosiers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Married
Travis
into
Harder.
life.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband's Hoosiers.
Mr. Babs.
They're playing in
Babs,
Knoxville.
Yes, they are. 3 o'clock, baby.
Is that on television?
I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure Lucas and Buck have a bet going on this game.
Oh, yeah.
What would that bet be?
I'm not sure. I don't think they officially decided on what the outcome was. I know they talked about Lucas having to wear Kentucky gear for the entire Tennessee-Kentucky week.
Yikes.
I know they talked about shaving Buck's beard into just a goatee, or just a soul patch, not a goatee, just a soul patch.
Oh, my gosh. That is
What is a soul
glorious.
patch?
But I don't know. Just a chin.
That.
You know the soul patch?
So I don't know if they've decided on an actual terms of the bet, but it was being discussed.
Streaming on ESPN Plus.
Oh.
Are you going?
Yes.
Of course you are.
Why wouldn't I?
You want to take Mr. Babs with you?
Look,
I would take my guy with me.
If Buck goes just soul patch, he's going to look like Jeff Goldblum.
It's going to be amazing.
Your boy in Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
movies.
I know it. I know. Oh, I know my guy. That's one of my favorite movies ever on earth.
Him and Cuba Gooding Jr. walked past us at the Super Bowl one year, and he's so skinny, Jeff Goldblum. Like, he was so frail. Like, I think I could have just flicked him over.
That would be interesting.
And then who's that other guy? Channing Tatum was with him. That was quite a crew.
That's a good little three-way, little threesome they got going on right there.
And Cuba Gooding Jr. had like a fedora on and a scarf.
That sounds about right.
With like a jacket and a sweater under it.
Yeah. Yep. That sounds about right. As of late.
Don Davenport's here, y'all.
What up, Babsy?
Let's go. Here we go.
I'm not a Laura Dern fan.
Anything going on
Laura
today?
Dern, she's in that movie. Those movies.
You said, is anything going on tonight?
Today?
Oh.
The Titans made a couple of deals. DeAndre Hopkins gone. He gone. To Kansas City.
Where you go?
Man.
Good for him, though. He gets
Good for
to go contend for a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, the Titans will pay $2.5 million of his $8 million this year. He will go to Kansas City. Titans get a 5th-round pick, which would become a 4th-round pick if Kansas City reaches the Super Bowl and D-Hop plays 60% of the snaps.
60% of the snaps.
Mm-hmm.
Could happen.
Yeah, it could.
Did they have to win it or just reach?
Go to the Super Bowl. Reaches the Super Bowl is how it's worded.
Okay.
Might be tough this year.
Baltimore looks good, man.
Baltimore.
Derrick Henry.
We talked about them figuring out.
Running through people.
Yeah, my fantasy team looks good.
This look phenomenal. You got both of them, don't you?
I have Lamar and Derek.
Jeez.
How did you end up with them?
Because it was auto draft.
And look, I want Derrick Henry to go over 2,000 yards. What a story that would be. I mean, cement the man in Canton, first ballot.
Would they give him the MVP?
That's a great question because you have a bet on that, don't you?
Yep.
Running backs don't typically win the quarterback award.
Yeah. There's no way. But Lamar will get it before him.
That's a shame. Mm-hmm. That's a shame.
Lamar's got two of them.
They should split it. Just two?
Mm-hmm.
They should split it. He is. Like, not getting touched at that line, but sure make a difference. It's funny.
You know, it's funny. Every time he blows up, too, like you see on Twitter, like all these fans, and I'm not, look, man, everybody's got the right to their opinion. But everybody's like, see, Derrick Henry should still be here. Derrick Henry would not be doing that here.
Oh,
I'm shocked that he's still rolling like that at 30, but
run blocking is better. But
he ain't
still
getting touched.
He ain't getting touched.
Hell no, he can run like that. The man takes care of his body. It's just when he get hit. The book was out that hit him before he gets going.
Yep.
His players that block for him were saying it.
Make him move his feet.
Yeah, and then the people that were hitting him last year, get him at the line. Get him at the line, you got some now.
He hit 22 miles per hour.
Yeah, he gone.
Also,
and then ragged on himself because he didn't score and he got caught and he must be slow now.
I want to see him run down Broadway with Bevo. Derrick Henry and Bevo run down Broadway.
That's dangerous. That's a movie.
It also helps that defenders have to hesitate with Lamar in the back, too.
Yep.
So
Huge
they can't just go
difference.
directly at him.
No, they can't.
And we said that when Henry went there. Like, how are you kidding me? That situation where you have Derrick Henry, but you still have to account for Lamar and what he can do with his legs.
But
like, you're just.
I was wrong. I admit it. I thought he lost a step. All those things. Man, no.
Yeah.
He still got it.
I don't know
You
if
just
I
couldn't see it.
necessarily thought he lost a step.
I did.
But I definitely
We saw him
didn't
pull
think
away,
he
though.
was what he was before. But then again, you couldn't
Look at
tell
the-
because
that's
he
what I'm-
never got hit behind the line.
That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is what you got to look at. Believe your eyes, man. Man getting through holes, man. Like, and then using the stiff arm. The stiff arm's back.
Let's get some more reaction on the Titans trades. You think?
Yes.
I mean, if they there, let's
All
go.
they're
lines
there.
are loaded. By the way, Babs' prize closet's going to open up too, so pay attention.
Oh, yeah. What am I giving away?
Kevin Hart tickets.
Oh, Kevin Hart at the Pinnacle Nashville on April 13th. That's coming up at the end of this segment.
I'll call.
No, next segment.
I'll call in.
No, you can't win.
Yeah.
All right, lines.
Let's go to the lines. Tony in Minville. Tony, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Yo.
Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a little analogy. I got to talk to my boy Slade first. Now, Slade,
Talk to
somebody
me.
invites you over to eat. What do you want them to do? You want them to throw some old cheap old hamburger on the grill with no seasoning,
Nah, I'll just
and you
bring
eat
my own
real
food.
quick,
Right.
or you want them to spend hours working on a brisket?
Oh yeah, put
12,
slow cook.
14 hours,
Yeah,
slow
slow cook that thing. I'll come over there while you slow cooking and sit on the back porch while you right there with it working the grill and smoke a cigar and talk
All
to
right,
you.
that's what Titan Nation needs to do. All preseason, all I heard was let Rand cook, let Rand cook, let Rand cook.
Mm-hmm.
If you knew the Titans' history or just paid any attention to football, then you'd know that they were not going to the Super Bowl this year. They have a lot of things to fix. They've got a brand new defensive coordinator that's never played calls, a brand new head coach that's never played calls. Give them time. Calm down.
I get all that, but man, I didn't think it'd be this bad, bro.
I didn't either. I didn't want it to be.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
Well, maybe that's what it was.
But I'm with you on that. Yeah, you got to slow cook it. I mean, you got to slow cook that thing. We trying to get full and eat on it for some days.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it. Pretty good analogy.
Yeah, I'm with him
I
on
like
that.
the analogy.
I'm with him on that.
Slow cook that
It's a
thing.
little positivity, too, in what is a dumpster fire.
I had a rep hit me up and say the same exact thing. The exact same thing. Dewan, shout out Dewan.
What up, Dwan?
Yeah, stay farm.
John in Nashville. John, what's up? How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We're great. Thanks.
So we know Will Levis ain't going to be our quarterback. Should we plan to try to work a way to get Archie when he enters the draft in a few years? I mean, there's no quarterbacks coming in the draft this year. Not really a lot next year, probably. I think we could probably make a plan for Archie in a few years.
Thank you,
What do
brother.
y'all
Appreciate it. That class is going to be Arch Manning and Nico to include too.
Listen, what John just called in and said is a conversation around Titans fans. Seriously, because this
For Arch
quarterback,
Manning?
yes, for 2 years from now, because this quarterback, I'm going to let you respond to it, but I'm just saying that's not like a random crazy call that we just got. That is absolutely a topic of conversation within diehard Titans fans of, okay, this quarterback class this year is not all that sexy.
Here are some names.
That's a wild combo to have, knowing that you got a year in between.
2 years down. Yeah. So
Right.
what do you do at quarterback next year?
Are you going to suck for 2 years?
Here are suck for Arch. Who's not even the starter at Texas yet. Here are some of the names that will be in this class: Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Quinn Ewers, Jalen Milroe, Carson Beck, Garrett Nussmeier. Those are going to be some of the guys.
It's not the sexiest class.
Not at this point. Yeah. You know how everything gets talked up, though, around draft time.
Yeah, I had to get past them first two. I'm cool.
I'm the same way right now.
Yeah,
After you get past two.
Shedeur and Cam. You can run the triple option with me.
Shedeur can throw the football.
He's a quarterback.
Watch that kid play quarterback, man.
I know advantage.
He can manipulate the pocket. He doesn't take off running very much. His eyes are always down the field.
He's a quarterback, man.
He's not a one-read guy at all.
Cam the same way.
Cam Ward's the same way, yeah.
Cam can play.
615-737-1045. Let's go to JD in Smyrna. JD, what's up?
Oh, not much. How are you guys doing?
Well, good, bro. Though. How you doing, dog? Let's go. What you got?
All right. I'll take you off of the speaker.
No doubt.
I got a suggestion for getting our salary cap down and answering a quarterback question.
Okay, JD.
Okay.
We're going to give Landry an opportunity to have an audition. After he plays against the Detroit Lions, let's trade him for Hendon Hooker, who is their backup quarterback. Might even get a 5th or 6th round pick included.
I missed who you wanted to trade. Who did you want to trade?
Harold Landry for Hendon Hooker.
I'm glad you brought him back up because I misread his contract earlier. He's got 2 years left. He's 13.1 dead cap next year, Harold Landry. So, I mean, you could theoretically move him.
Yes.
And
now for Hendon Hooker specifically, meh.
Yes. That Hooker is going to be removed from his ACL. And
he's already playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
hey, thank you, JD. Appreciate you, man. So Harold Landry for Hendon Hooker.
I do wish it was just that easy, though, where you could just be like, hey, you know what? We want this guy, so we're just going to trade with you.
Yeah,
we're just going to make it happen.
Y'all take him.
I also think that...
Do you want him? You're good with not having him on your roster anymore, so we'll just take him.
And then if he don't work out, we'll send him back.
I think he played well enough in the preseason that Detroit would not unload him.
Exactly. Not to mention, I mean, you want a decent backup, right? And he's one that could be developed into something.
Man.
Like it's not that easy to just be like
these conversations.
It's Madden and fantasy, man. Madden and fantasy has us here at this point.
Well, it's the same conversation of, just go get a quarterback. Just go get a quarterback. Like it's that freaking easy. If it was that easy, everybody'd be doing it. Just go get one in free agency. It doesn't happen that way because usually if there's a quarterback worth having, they ain't ever hitting free agency.
Or
they're going to be
tackles that you've missed on 3 years straight.
Right.
Leading up to this year. Where you finally found one.
Let's go to Matthew out there on 65. At least he was when he called. Matthew, what's up?
It's a parking lot, baby. I'm still here.
Oh, no. Wait,
I figured.
What part of 65 are you on?
I figured.
North, headed towards Franklin.
Okay.
So
it's
beware.
always bad.
All right.
Yeah, let me just tell you first, I love you guys. Y'all brighten my day every daggum day. And I appreciate you.
We try to.
So here's my theory on what's going on in sports in Nashville. Vanderbilt has been beleaguered for years and decades and decades. I think the good Lord looked down and said, you know what? I'm going to take all the luck from the Predators.
We'll take all the good juju from the Titans. I'm going to give that to Clark Lee. Clark, it'll be there tomorrow, and you go beat Alabama. Have a good day now.
And that's how you get blessed right there.
Spreading it.
It's divine intervention. Plus, there's a rumor that T-Rock is going to be traded for another mascot and an 8th-round pick.
8th round pick. I love it. Thank you, Matt. Good luck. Good luck in the traffic.
Hey, man.
Bring back Marcus. That is now in the chat. Marcus.
He played well Sunday.
Well, he played well at times here, too.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels went out with a hip injury, and Marcus came in and rib injury. Yes, thank you. Hip was Anthony Richardson, right? Anyway, Marcus came in and played well.
Felt good watching Marcus actually succeed.
Did y'all see? Now they were playing the Panthers, so there's that. But did y'all see the video of Derrick Henry finding Marcus Mariota after the game?
How cute was that? Marcus!
He went all high pitched.
I'm telling you, everybody loved Marcus, man.
Yeah.
18 of 23, 205, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, quarterback rating of 132.8. Marcus Mariota against Carolina. Did you say Bryce Young's coming back?
Yep.
He's starting Sunday?
He's been announced. Yep.
Andy Dalton got in a car accident yesterday.
With his family.
With his family.
Ooh,
and
I
dog.
missed that.
Yeah.
And dog.
Yeah, his dog was in the car. Everybody's fine. He hurt his thumb, so he's out.
That's tough.
That's some bad luck.
Jaden Daniels might be out for Washington against Chicago. And what was the other story? Tua's back.
Oh, my
Tua
He's
practice,
cleared? Oh,
Tua
he's
practice today.
Oh.
He's expected to start on Sunday.
Well, all right. Good for him.
And his comments, we didn't talk about it last week in his press conferences.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes you worry and cringe too. You know, basically he's like, football till it'll, even if it's the death of me kind of thing. And then they asked him if he was going to wear a guarding cap, and he was like, nope.
He was emphatic about it. He said personal choice.
Yep.
Interesting. All right, more of your reaction. Titans trade day, 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. I am actually scheduling the installation of another new door in our home from Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville for tomorrow. It started rusting on the outside of the door and doesn't seal properly anymore. And maybe that's where you are and you have windows and doors that need to be replaced. The only people you need to call are the people at Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. You can always stop by their showroom, by the way, in Franklin, 277 Mallory Station Road, number 107 there in Franklin. Can't miss it. And they have all of their window options and door options. You can pull them out of the wall and push them back in and pull a different one out. See what they all look like. See what they're all great at, and make sure that your home is ready for these cold temperatures that are going to start coming here in the winter. Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville, they're the best, and they're giving you 50% off qualifying installations and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 full months. Just call them at 615-249-1910, or you can schedule a free consultation. Check out their limited time special offer. And that is easy to do online at PellaNashville.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. Brian Callahan says he's leaning towards starting Mason Rudolph at quarterback again this weekend, giving Levis more time to heal. He didn't say that he ruled him out. He just said he was leaning that way.
Just let him get healthy, huh?
I mean, you want to send Will Levis out there against the Lions? Might as well.
I mean, is Aiden Hutchinson going to be there?
Nope.
All right. You got a good shot.
Oh, yeah. Great shot.
Optimistic, man. I'm going to be optimistic.
That is very optimistic.
Titans might get them. Let me see what the spread is.
Double-digit point spreads in the NFL are few and far between, and there is one in this one.
I don't think I can afford to take the Titans this week.
You're not going to Titans money line this one? You can make a lot of money if they pull that one off.
This one's going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough one.
What would it be if you put $100 on the Titans money line right now?
Let me go see.
Because it's bouncing back and forth between 10.5 and 11. It really didn't move the number with the Ernest Jones and DeAndre Hopkins trades. And obviously Mason Rudolph looks like he's going to play quarterback Sunday.
I'll tell you here shortly. Shortly doo-wop.
Are you betting NBA games yet, or are you going to let them play?
Yeah, I'll prop bet them. I might prop bet them tonight. Well, after tonight, because I'm riding with put everything on Kennesaw State tonight.
So,
which sounds really funny when you consider Kennesaw State has not won a game and they're playing Liberty.
And the spread was what,
25 and a half?
Yeah,
but they're at home.
Up to 27.
Oh, you did?
No, it did.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, no, not me.
So on FanDuel, Titans money line is plus 460 right now. So $100 will get you $460.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That sounds like a Slay kind of bet to me.
Yeah, that money line that's a little steep.
Jerome Baker, by the way, comes over in that Ernest Jones trade. He is 6'2", 232, 27 years old, inside linebacker. Third-round pick out of Ohio State in 2018. Played with the Dolphins for 6 seasons. Seahawks this year. He's averaging 7.4 tackles per game this year. Also has a sack. And with the departure of DeAndre Hopkins, the wide receiver room now looks like this. Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd, NWI, Jaquan Jackson, Traylon Burks, who is hurt, Mason Kinsey, Bryce Oliver, and Tay Martin are all on the practice squad.
Oh, Mason Kinsey. Might be the return of Mason Kinsey at some point this year.
His fourth year, he's played 9 games, mostly as a returner.
Yeah.
I think he's got 2 career catches.
Always
2?
there.
Maybe 3.
I do want to see Bryce Oliver.
I wouldn't be mad about it. That's the tight. No. I was gonna say
Bryce Oliver had a preseason.
He had a really good preseason.
Mm-hmm. Out of Youngstown State, undrafted rookie.
Hey, it's wide open.
Mason Kinsey went to Berry College.
Good for him.
I'll tell you this about Mason Kinsey. You go to training camp and stuff, stand on the sidelines or whatever, and even like fan access, because you can get pretty close to the field during training camp, right?
He's active.
Oh, my, that guy's running his mouth.
Mm-hmm. He's active.
Like in a fun way. I mean, he's jawing with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. He's active. That's what you want. Yeah, stay active. Whatever you got to do to get your emotions up, let's roll with it. I'm cool with it.
The first time I heard it, or the first time I noticed it, there was a big pile of people after a play, and I could hear the chirping, and I was like, who is that running their mouth? And everything cleared. It was like, Mason Kinsey.
Smallest guy out there.
Love it.
Got to fight for everything.
Mm-hmm. What's Kyle Phillips at?
I wonder if he has like 5 brothers or something. You know what I mean? Like he's the youngest of 5 or something.
He probably the only one. No idea.
Where is Kyle Phillips?
That's a great question. I don't know. Him, someone with Mason.
He is a free agent.
Kyle Phillips I thought he signed with somebody's practice squad.
Make it.
Yeah, I think he
did, but I think he got released.
Oh, you guys.
Oh, the Eagles.
Hey, boom! He's back.
No,
is he
Eagles,
still
no,
with
the
them?
Eagles was the practice squad that he signed to. I don't think he's there anymore.
Oh.
Hey, way to build us up. Let us down.
I'm looking to confirm that. There's another Kyle Phillips in the league who played for the New Orleans Saints. He was a defensive end.
Well, not that
Yeah,
one.
that's not him. Can you imagine that Kyle Phillips playing defensive end?
No, because he couldn't stay healthy.
Nope.
Okay, yeah, he's on the Eagles
receiver.
practice squad still.
Oh, he is on the practice squad. Okay.
Attaboy.
Good job, Kyle.
Go, baby.
What about Mason Kinsey? Is he like the youngest of 12 brothers, and that's why he talks all the time? Can you look that up?
I can try.
Let's go to Peyton in Hendersonville. Peyton, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's happening?
So I just got a point that I don't really think I've really heard anybody talk about.
All right.
How much of this goes on Amy Adams-Strunk? Because she ultimately is the one who hired moved Chad Brinker, hired Rand Carthon. Vrabel wanted personnel decisions. She said, "No, you're gone." Now we have up until today, we had a lot of talent on this roster, and if it was just a quarterback thing, we've seen Mason Rudolph come in and win the Steelers some games. So
yeah, he did not play very well against Buffalo, but yes.
Well, no, but I don't think that Brian Callahan's that good. Obviously Will Levis is not, but just to go back on like the series of choices that she's made, she let John Robinson stay as a GM role far too long. It wasn't until A.J. Brown was whipping us in the end zone and Philly fans were giving her the double bird for her to realize, okay, maybe this guy needs to go, when you could have clearly seen that he couldn't hit a draft pick to save his life.
Well, there was a lot going on with regard to who was selecting draft picks back then, and thank you, Peyton. I appreciate. I really don't want to go back into all that. There's nothing you can do about it.
I think Slay should respond.
Yeah, Slay, you got this?
How much of this is on Amy Adams-Strunk?
Hey, man. You know what, Baz? I don't really know, man. This is like y'all done threw me for a loop out here. I like what is on her for hiring a new regime and the new regime hiring a new head coach? Like, what is on her exactly?
You know what I was thinking about during the Buffalo game? I was thinking everybody was all over Will Levis, right? Until Mason Rudolph goes in there and they get hammered 34-10. And I'm like, okay, now the guy that wanted Mason Rudolph is going to turn right to Brian Callahan. But some people are going beyond Brian Callahan and going to Rand Carthon. And some people are going beyond Brian Callahan and Rand Carthon to Amy Adams-Strunk.
And Chad Brinker.
Yeah, Brinker.
Like they're going past like what we go what's our other
here
Burke, we're gonna ask for Burke Nihill to be gone too in a minute. Like, I mean, like what? Like,
no, not me. I love that guy.
I don't know, man. Like, what? I don't even know really what we talking about no more.
I mean, at the end of the day, eventually, maybe you can put something on Amy Adams-Strunk for her decision making and hiring, but right now.
Do we
You're
understand
gonna go
the
straight
hole that we were in?
No, this is the problem. And you know what? Maybe part of this is our fault because we actually thought that Will Levis would show those flashes that we saw from him last year and make them better this year and be the guy.
Yeah.
Or maybe we thought way too highly of Bill Callahan's ability to do something with nothing.
I think they're better
on the
now,
right side of the line.
except for right tackle.
Yeah.
Right, and it's a big problem.
It's a big problem, but they're better now up front offensively. But here's the question: what is Amy Adams-Strunk supposed to do right now? 6 games into Brian Callahan,
sell the team. That's what I've been hearing. Like I don't like I don't know.
She ain't doing that.
That's what I'm saying.
I tell you that right now.
That's not even a thought anyway. Like, we're in a hole. Like, yes, I agree totally with Babsy. Like, you think about the pieces that got put around this team in order to go compete. Not go win a Super Bowl, but just compete from where you left it off last year. You had pieces, and it shows. You have a number one team in the defensive category. Your team is number one. That defensive unit. All right, cool. You thought you were going to be able to see some more of those flashes. We've seen none of those flashes at the quarterback spot.
No.
We had no one to block for him except on one side of the offensive line. The right tackle has literally been a problem. Yeah. Literally, a guy was going, not with no moves, really pushing the lineman back. Whoever was at tackle, NPL, anybody, pushing him back into the quarterback. Like, what we talk? You got weapons outside. It was supposed to work.
Good.
It didn't work. All right, cool. You
Defense is better.
Yes. Like, but you go back up, you gonna climb the ladder and go. Rapunzel, get out the.
It'll be amazing how quickly they can turn things around with a coherent offensive line and a quarterback. That's
it will make all the difference.
Where they are.
And you actually just one spot.
I didn't think they'd be 1-5 though.
None of us did.
Nobody did.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody.
I think
did.
I thought they'd be
did
better
enough to
Even the
offensively.
people that
compete.
thought the Titans were going to suck with this roster, if it was
Yes. They still didn't
they
think
still
this.
didn't think 1-5.
Yeah. And I also want to point this out too with Amy Adams Strunk. At the time that she made changes in coaching staffs, the franchise was not in a position that she was happy with. From a standpoint of when Vrabel was there, we've heard plenty of stories from inside.
About that
we
whole thing.
could write an absolute award-winning bestseller about the drama that was going on inside that building because of different power struggles and whatever else. And Rand
All
Carthen
the voices
and Braves and Rand can both take the high road all they want and not say a word about it, but it was real. It was happening. There was division in that building, and she saw that and knew that it was time to make a change.
I mean, she said after, it was like, I want one voice. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, top tier on YouTube. The fan base is running in the dark with a blindfold today.
Man, I mean, hey, boy, yes. Absolutely.
I knew you would like that one.
Yeah, and like a church. I did that one time in the church, like with columns, and you just gonna run into a column. I remember I got this little cut right here. I had to get split wide open. But yeah, man, like, wow, this is wild.
How about I give away some Kevin Hart tickets?
How about that?
When you
That'll
do
make you
this,
laugh.
is this out your closet?
Yeah.
After you do it, I'm gonna go sit in the closet and hide.
Another winning Wednesday on 3HL. Tickets for you to win from my prize closet. Caller number 5 right now. You win 2 tickets to see Kevin Hart at the Pinnacle Nashville on April 13th. 615-737-1045. Good luck.
Go up to Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, maybe a fire truck. I don't know if they have one there to put out the dumpster fire that's going on. Maybe they do. Go up to Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, ready to help you out. Whether you are looking for a car, truck, SUV, Jeep, new or pre-owned, they've got incredible selection. You can check them out online. GuptonMotors.com is the website. All the dealership information is there. Address, phone number, deals they have going on this month, the entire inventory. They have a huge selection of Jeeps. They have a tremendous selection of Ram trucks as well. Whatever you're looking for, they'll point you in the right direction. You can go take your test drive. Go inside. They will help make the numbers work, and it will be that easy. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. Just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Again, that's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Kevin Hart, man, that's going to be a good show.
Well, yeah, you're out. Let you know how much he's grown. He used to just pop up in Zanies, man, and sell out in 4 days. Like, I remember that probably about 6 years ago. Man, he'd pop up all the time working on new material, and we would go down there and check him out, and I guess that's over with.
You knew he was good when you first saw him?
Oh, hell yeah.
You were like, this guy's going to be.
Oh, ain't no question. Yeah.
His energy level, man.
Oh, it's crazy.
I've gotten to the point where, like, I search movies out that he's in. You know what I mean? And just.
Yeah. That's good stuff right there.
I always wonder,
like to go see that.
Guys like that, like how much they're like freelancing, which writers hate that. Mm-hmm. But what are you going to do? Yeah. I mean, it's brilliance. Yeah. I mean, genius level stuff.
You just got to let them roll.
That's what we've talked about before. I used to hear, like, Sally Field was talking about Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire. Mm-hmm. That a lot of Mrs. Doubtfire, he was just winging it.
Yeah.
And, like, you have a certain pressure as a co-actor to not mess it up.
Yeah.
And to, like, go with him, you know, to where he wants to go. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, that's good. That'll be a good show. So that's in April? Mm-hmm. I already ripped up my sheet.
25.
Once we do something, it's gone.
25 alive.
Up in here.
April 13th.
The Pinnacle, Nashville, April 13th. I don't even know where the Pinnacle is. Is that the building? They got the Pinnacle right on?
I don't know where the Pinnacle is.
I have no idea. We are so Nashville.
Well, I mean, how many new buildings are there?
That's the thing. We got too many new buildings. Maybe it'll be up by April 13th.
I got to find my new building story. I keep telling y'all.
They're probably building it.
They're building it now.
We were talking about it yesterday.
It'll be done by April.
That's right.
I'll have to find this. Anyway, tomorrow we will be broadcasting live at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
And you said you're going to prepare a wash away toast?
Yeah, I most definitely got to now.
You're not going to freelance that one?
No, I can't freelance this one. This one, I may need have to read from a script on this one. I think we need
You need a teleprompter?
No, I need something written down on paper. Like, this is going to have to be like a speech from a new event venue in the Gorge. Thanks, Ballin' Ali.
There you go.
Yep. That's what Pinnacle is.
You could.
We got to be more on top of it.
It opens.
I mean, none of us been there.
It opens in March.
See?
Oh, there you go.
Of next year. March of next year.
We know
Okay, so now I feel a little bit better about our
That is funny that we were right
social
about
prowess.
that. Yeah. Speaking of Ballin' Ali, let's go to Ali in New York City. Ali, what's up?
What up, y'all?
Hi.
All right.
You fired up, Ali?
All right. All right. We have not one Nathaniel, but two Nathaniels on this team. Brian Callahan statistically has a worse offense than Ken Wisenhunt. Those were some dark days. I'm sorry, but his in-game performance and his in-game calls, he gets that Nathaniel title. There's no and buts about it. Like some of those calls, like that 4th and 2 on your own side, like, bro, what are you doing?
Well,
that challenge. What are you doing?
Why did you not challenge?
Multiple times this year.
Yeah, Rudolph clearly got the first down. That was a tough one.
But that's partly on his coaching staff too for not
making him do
it. Do y'all think he ends up in the press box? Sorry, Ali. Do y'all think he ends up not the press box, but in the coaching booth?
Can you though as a head coach?
No, he's the head coach.
He's the play caller though.
It doesn't matter. You better pass on those duties. No, he can't go up there. You're the head coach.
I'm trying anything, man.
I mean,
put that coach
no,
in the
you're
box.
You're not calling for him to be fired, though, Ali. Are you? You're just saying it's been.
He's gone. Look, I might have a Buckeye bias. I might have a Buckeye bias. I might have a Buckeye bias to the old guy, but some of these calls all season long, I've never seen a coach make some of these horrible calls.
6 games.
His offense is clearly not working. His
6
offense
games.
is clearly not working.
Let the man learn.
All right, Ali. We're up against
Thank you,
it.
brother.
We got music going.
Thanks, Ali.
We miss you, Ali. But no, it's 6 games in. Give the man a break. Give him a chance to get it all together.
Real quick, from
with
Fox,
a crap offensive line.
From Fox Nashville. Nashville is about to get its tallest skyscraper. The Paramount Tower will stand 750 feet tall with 60 stories, 1010 Church Street.
I hate that. You can't overshadow the Batman building.
I've got more research on that for tomorrow because we're out of time. Bully's coming. Titans Tonight is next. We appreciate you guys including us in your day. We do not take that lightly, nor do we take it for granted. Appreciate y'all. Have a great night. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be this Trailenberg, Tajay Spears, or I guess just anybody associated with the Titans because you'll be fired.